So don't mind the leaf blower or anything else you might hear. That stuff's going to go away there momentarily. So let me give you the starting lineups for both squads. We're getting set for puck drop, national anthem, and all that stuff in the interim. So it's going to be Ryan O'Reilly, Brandon Saad, David Perron, Nick Leddy, and Colton Parayko for the St. Louis Blues. And then Robert Thomas, Pavel Buchnevich, Vladimir Tarasenko, Marco Scandella, and Justin Falk. Third line is Braden Shen, Ivan Barbashev, Jordan Kyrou, Nico Mikkola, and Robert Bortuzzo. Fourth line is Tyler Bozak, Alexei Trapchenko, and Nathan Walker with Ville Husso in net. Remember a couple games ago with what happened with Jordan Binnington. Again, everybody on the St. Louis side wants to blame Nazem Kadri. It's just one of those situations where the St. Louis player was in front. Kadri is going to go get the puck, and then all of a sudden you get an injury on the other side. So for Jordan Binnington, who's been no question the St. Louis Blues' best goaltender in the playoffs, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to win this series, already down 3-1. But I'm going to say this just like the other series in the Western Conference. Colorado has the favorite right now. Edmonton has the favorite. All it takes for one of these road teams is to steal this road game here tonight, find a way to win at home in the next couple days, and then you're right back in the same spot again. You have to take it one game at a time, that old adage in that sense, and that's the only way that you can do it. You have to find a way to win a road game tonight, take the next couple days, figure it out at home, and then figure it out after that. That's all you can do right now for the St. Louis Blues or the Edmonton Oilers, where I'll be on there tomorrow talking about that. For the Colorado Avalanche, it's Nathan McKinnon, Gabe Landeskog, Arturi Lehkonen, Devin Tays, and Kel McCarr. It's Nazem Kadri on the second line with Val Nichushkin, Mikko Rotten, Bowen Byram, and Eric Johnson. JT Compher with Alex Newhook and Nicholas Aubé-Kubel. With Jack Johnson and Josh Manson on defense. Again, no Samuel Girard with a leg injury. He's going to be out for the rest of the playoffs. So in comes Jack Johnson, former U of M Wolverine. He's been in the NHL for a long, long time. So when you pair him on the third line with Josh Manson, they should be fine there. Fourth line is Darren Helm, Andrew Cogliano, and Logan O'Connor with Darcy Kemper in goal. So it goes to one of these situations where I'm just going to give you a very short recap here where we got the national anthem going. So Colorado, I covered game one. It was 3-2 in overtime. Then it was 4-1 Blues. Jordan Binnington was excellent. A lot of posts and everything else in Colorado in that sense, and it kind of went away again as the series was 1-1. Colorado then in game three pulled away late 5-2. Jordan Binnington was out. Nazem Kadri had trick, a 6-3. Phil Husso has to go in. Again, Colorado scores 4 straight and pulls away for a 6-3 final. So right now it's 3-2, 4-1, 5-2, and 6-3. Colorado already has 3 victories, and all they need to do is get one more here tonight to close this out at home. They're at Ball Arena right now in Denver, Colorado. So Colorado, you would think, is all in the driver's seat, but in this situation, as we've said, all it takes is one for St. Louis to go back to the Enterprise Center, and that's all their thoughts can be right now. David Perron has to continue to lead the charge here for St. Louis, and if you're Colorado, just keep on doing what you're doing. Ville Husso is obviously not the same type of goalie that Jordan Binnington is what he's shown throughout the series, and that's where we're at right now. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed the game. I'm going to have the complete coverage game story to follow. I'll put it in the chat section right now. I'll put that in there momentarily. So it's Darcy Kemper and Ville Husso in net. This is the first potential elimination game that we have in the Western Conference semifinals. Darcy Kemper is 5-1 at 214 goals against, a 917 save percentage. He's been pretty solid, and that's really all Colorado needs for as good as they are. We gave you the opening lineups. Now all that's left is puck drop here. So Ryan O'Reilly gets it for the St. Louis Blues, and then immediately gets it back from his defensive partner in Colton Parayko. Now Colorado with their first possession, going to chip and chase this out of the defensive zone. Picked up by St. Louis, and the captain's got it now. He's going to throw this over on the other side to Brandon Saad. Saad has the left corner faceoff dot. They go in behind the cage now where David Perron, the St. Louis Blues' best player, is waiting for the puck to come back to him there. He does now, tries to fire it on. It's through a stick there of Kel McCarr. And Colorado can get this one back down the ice. This is Nazem Kadri He's been excellent in this series for the Colorado Avalanche. His shot gets stopped there by Ville, and now St. Louis has this toward the red line as they're skating in here. Fake slap shot there for Parayko. Now lets their shot go, and it's bottled aside there by Darcy Kemper. And toward the left faceoff dot, nice pass out in front for Robert Thomas, and it gets knocked away. Thomas now in behind the left faceoff dot, trying to leave us out in front for a wrist shot on the defensive side. It gets taken away there by Comfort. Pick back up now across the red line. Here comes Kadri. Kadri leaves this for Byron. It is a pad save there by Ville, but the rebound's there for Nichushkin. Nichushkin lets this one fly, and it goes wide. Picked up now by Vladimir Tarasenko. It's a 3-on-2 developing for St. Louis. Drop pass. Back to Tarasenko. Lets this one go toward the side of the cage. It's stopped there by Darcy Kemper. Kemper now, as he made the save, it goes toward the red line and picked back in. Trying to get my color cast up all set up here. Loose out in front. Stopped there by Ville. Now it's toward the left faceoff dot. Stolen there by Colorado. Looking for a cross pass. It bounces off Husso, and the save was made. And now St. Louis has it. They couldn't find Jordan Kyrou. Kept it in the zone. And now this is back in toward the opposite blue line where Colorado can like to dump this one in. Nicholas Aubé-Kubel and JT Compher. Aubé-Kubel is the one trying to bust in there toward the left faceoff dot. Compher got hit pretty hard. Newhook leaves it there for Compher. Newhook trying to bust in now. Go toward the left faceoff dot, now going to Jordan Kyrou. Kyrou gets it off the kick plate. He's going to be the first to get to it, but Bowen Byram is able to intercept here for Colorado. Back toward the defensive pairing of St. Louis right now. Nothing. 11-2 all time in the series when leading 3-1, 10-2 since 1996. It's a real situation here for the St. Louis Blues, but again, you have to just find a way in this game amidst everything else. They've got it behind the cage right now. Try to center it out in front. Kemper made the first save. Capped in nicely across the blue line here for the St. Louis Blues. Spun around there. Kyrou gets knocked off the puck. Helm gets this one down the ice, and it's a race for it. I think the icing is going to be icing call against the Blues with the defenseman that was there first. My goodness. 17 minutes left to go in the first period of the scoreless contest. Again, from the previous replay on Sportsnet CBC side, Darcy Kemper almost misplayed the puck that was in front of him, and that could have been a goal there if there was a St. Louis Blue in the vicinity. Colorado, so far, they've been pinballing it in front of the slot and trying to keep Husso on his toes, and he's done okay so far. 3 shots to 2 in favor of the Avalanche with 17 minutes left to go in the first. And when we get a break here, I will put the box score on ESPN out front. Intercepted by Saad. Another shot there for O'Reilly, and it goes wide. O'Reilly now has it toward the left faceoff dot. He's being hounded. This goes to Falk. Falk now with Marco Scandella. A shot goes wide. Picked up now by Nazem Kadri. Now Leddy tries to get to this one. Picked up now by Colorado as they can reset with Devin Tays in their own end toward the right faceoff dot. This goes in across the red line. Arturi Lehkonen with a open wrist shot on the left wing, and it's stopped by high blocker side by Ville Husso. Played out in front, and it goes right to St. Louis. David Perron gets his attempt gloved down there by Colorado. Here comes Lehkonen. McKinnon lets it go, scores! Nathan McKinnon with a drop pass. The drop pass is still alive and well. Colorado gets first blood in this elimination game. Up 3-1 in this series right now. They're up 1-0 on the scoreboard with 16:09 left to go in the first as the Ball Arena crowd in Denver, Colorado loves it. Nathan McKinnon makes it 1-0. Again, the luxury for Colorado is this. You talk about Nazem Kadri, Landeskog, all these other pieces like that. McKinnon hasn't had a lot of goals throughout the playoffs, but that's okay. The rest of this whole team has been able to pick everything else up. It's not like he hasn't been doing a bad job. That was a beautiful movement there, a beautiful drop pass. As the Landeskog screen was in front, he's calling for the puck, plays it right out in front. No chance there for Ville Husso. So that's just the luxury you have when you're on a really, really good team. Colorado is one of those. His 34th career playoff goal for Nathan McKinnon. You got to think that young man, still with that many goals, he's got many more in his pocket. 16:09 left to go in the first. So a face-off loss there for O'Connor there. And now this goes back into the defensive zone as Darcy Kemper will hold. So Nathan McKinnon is sixth of the playoffs. And geez, I make that sound like he doesn't have a lot because when you think about Vander Kane having 13, Arturi Lehkonen 1, and Bowen Byram with his fourth assist of the playoffs. At the 16-minute mark, Darcy Kemper had froze this puck. It's 5-5 with the shots on goal, and they have Pavel Buchnevich for the Blues going back into the room. So once I get an update on the Sportsnet side, I will relay that one to you. That's pretty big there for St. Louis. They're 4-0 as Colorado and scoring first in the playoffs right now. Try to get some early rest here if they can win this one in 5 against the Blues. Again, long way to go, but you don't want to give Colorado that early lead. For all the stuff we talked about going into the national anthem, of all the things that the Blues needed to do, giving up a goal within the first 4 minutes was not one of those. Chance for Comfrey lets it go, and it's saved by the glove side of Ville Husso, and it goes all the way down where Eric Johnson can touch this one. It goes back in behind the own cage. He's still got it. He's trying to break out all the way through the red line. Nice pass. Nicholas Aubé-Kubel lets it go. Gets his own rebound. And Ville Husso had to make a couple of saves. This goes back to Shen now. Tried to leave it there. Gets intercepted. Aubé-Kubel with the active stick. Alex Newhook joining in. Confer lets it go. It's stopped by the pad to the 5-hole of Husso. And now St. Louis, Ryan O'Reilly trying to hold off that back check. Trying to pick it up with even Barbashev. It gets blocked out in front and with Byram before it even hits Darcy Kemper. This is in toward the left faceoff dot. St. Louis trying to keep this one alive with Alexei Tropchenko. Now Nicholas Aubé-Kubel gets this up. Third line's been doing some work. Trying to pace this out even from with Devin Tays as the defenseman was going all the way to pinch in. And some good body work there by Newhook to try to dislodge it. This finds the St. Louis Blues. The pass goes a little bit wide there for Perron. He gets hit by Helm but keeps the puck alive. Ryan O'Reilly trying to work his way into the net in front as a Colton Parayko slap shot got denied out in front before it hit Kemper. He was looking for a screen. Race for the puck right now. And the Colorado offensive end, Logan O'Connor, trying to get to this one first. It's stuck in toward the red line on the left side. Now this is picked up by Folk. Folk keeps this in behind the cage. This goes toward the right faceoff dot. Now back in there one more time. As Nico Mikkonen turns it over there. He gets high stick. Chance for Colorado right for the slot. And the puck goes just wide. Picked up now by St. Louis. St. Louis still getting worked over here. Aubé-Kubel trying to get his stick working into the crowd. It rises as one shot stopped there by Ville Husso. The Avalanche committing one right now. They're all over the St. Louis Blues. 13:30 left to go in the first, and we have an icing call. 9 shots to 5. Very active forechecking from the third line of the Colorado Avalanche. Looks very, very good on the report card there after already scoring one when you have your deeper lines go in there and do some damage. And we've seen that right now. There's some great work there by Nichushkin, Landeskog, O'Connor, Nicholas Aubé-Kubel, even Darren Hellman there at times. Colorado has come out and they're ready to play this game. And, I mean, it's a possible elimination. It's at home. You want to go out there with Kel McCarr right now. He's got the puck. Lets it go into the screen. Stopped there by Husso. Do everything you can to try to shut this door and end it early. Regardless of the other outside situations, you do what you can to finish this one off. So Nathan McKinnon gets his 6th of the playoffs. It's 1-0 Colorado with 13:28 left to go in the first. Come right back. Ooh.
Ontario, it is on. DraftKings Sportsbook has arrived. The sportsbook that offers a hockey team to score a goal at 2-1 odds each day this month. Now you can legally bet same-game parlays, spreads, money lines, props, and more. And do it anytime, anywhere in the province. So get excited, Ontario. DraftKings Sportsbook is live with 2-1 odds on a hockey team to score a goal. Download the app and make it great.
Okay, so I got the goal entry in the notes here. We're going to get the full game story and play-by-play to follow after this game is over. You know, I got the live call and color cast right now. We're just getting through the CBC sports coverage. We're still deep into the first period. Nathan McKinnon has drawn first blood as we get back into the official action right now. St. Louis keeping this alive. Tarasenko drive to the net, stopped there by Kemper and held. He was all alone as lonesome. And now somebody in St. Louis gets knocked on their heavily padded wallet out in front of the cage of Darcy Kemper with the 13:17 left to go in the first period. Tarasenko was a one-on-one. Nice job holding it with the body off the backhand, a power move in front of the net. I think that was Perron that got his lunch fed to him in front of the net as well. So 1-0 Colorado in this Western Conference semifinal. John on here with you from Ball Arena in Denver. It is a 3-1 series lead for the Avs. Right now, it looks as though they're going to be playing the Edmonton Oilers. Again, the Calgary Flames are going to have something to say to that with the Saddledome Arena crowd tomorrow. I'm going to have that call with you. Whether or not I'm going to be with Cooper Hopkins is the question. I will let you guys know as soon as I know. 30 of 33 playoff goals were scored by forwards for the St. Louis Blues. So, again, they maybe have some of that other depth scoring from their forwards. David Perron has been most of that right now. Buchnevich loses it. Nice poke checking there for Colorado to get this set up. They get back into their zone. Achuskin drop pass there for O'Connor. That goes wide. Nazem Kadri, who's been really, really good here for Colorado, gets this now. This goes to Jack Johnson as they spin and turn this around. Arturi Lehkonen going to leave this one. Kadri gets smoked against the boards. Arturi Lehkonen the same. And this goes back to the defensive side. Again, no Samuel Girard here for Colorado. St. Louis will intercept this thing. This goes across the red line now. Chance for Perron. Turning on the Jets, trying to make a couple moves. And now this goes in behind the cage. Pass centered out in front there for Tarasenko. This is Parayko and Leddy are the two defensemen back right now for St. Louis. It's a 3-on-2. This is in behind the cage right now. Bowen Byram with the actual forecheck there off the defensive side. And O'Connor's shot got stopped before it hit Ville Husso toward the left dot. Byram now holding off the backhand. He's just going to flutter this one in behind the cage. Picked up by Nicholas Aubé-Kubel. He gets knocked down. Thrown out by Eric Johnson from Logan O'Connor, and Eric Johnson couldn't keep it in the zone. Byram tries to get this across the red line, and his pass is now intercepted. 11:40 left to go in the first period. It is 9-6 on the shot board in favor of the Avalanche, but more importantly for them, it is 1-0. Nathan McKinnon with the goal about 4 minutes in. This is dumped into the Colorado zone right now. Gabe Landeskog, the captain, tries to get this one out across the red line, and he does, where this was trying to get around to, I think, Burakovsky there. I'm not sure if he was injured or checking back in from injury. I'll have to get a number check on that one. Devin Tays holding in behind the net of Darcy Kemper. Going to leave this one. Makar plays it off the kick plate. It was Nathan McKinnon who picked it up as it goes down the defensive zone of St. Louis. Picked up now by the Blues. Brandon Saad had his bid momentarily knocked away trying to get out of the zone there. David Perron. Saad falls down. I think he fell off offsides. I don't know if we're getting a penalty call, but I have the live box score up there on ESPN so I can relay that to you once they get it now that the stats and everything else are all set up here. So it sounds like there's going to be a penalty. And again, I'm going to get my official call here. I think it might be Arturi Lehkonen for holding Ryan O'Reilly near the players' bench. He never had the puck, never had the stick. So yeah, that is Lehkonen in the box at the 9:07 mark of the 9:07 mark of the period. 10:53 left to go. 2-minute power play here for St. Louis. They are first in the NHL in the playoffs at 35%. And the 16 teams that can enter, Colorado is 14th at 66%. So if St. Louis is going to get back into it, they need their numbers to stay to their true form. They're 4 for 8 in the series, a sparkling 50%. So the first bid here for the Blues gets knocked down in the defensive zone where this finds Falk. So it's a Scandella and Falk where they could elect to go with an extra forward on the other side. Picked up now by David Perron. He's going to wire this one around. Trying to get picked up in behind the net, but again, it finds toward the blue line. Fake slap pass there for Falk. Plays it around for Shen. Falk lets it go. It's stopped by the stick of Darcy Kemper as this finds Perron. Perron is holding near the left face-off dot. He finds Falk. He's been serenaded with booze, David Perron, but he's been very, very good in this series. That's one way to boo somebody. Perron. Every time you know he has the puck, there's a charade of booze. And toward the left face-off dot, tries to find Shen. Shen now to O'Reilly. This goes back to Vlad Tarasenko. He's in the high slot. Falk and Tarasenko play catch. Down to 50 seconds of the go. Perron wires it. Stopped there by the glove of Kemper and then cleared down the ice by the Avalanche. This finds Ville Husso. They were 2 for 3 in Game 4 with 5 shots in the power play. They've already got 3 right now. This is a chance for Parayko. He lets this one all the way down the ice. Buchnevich has his bid stopped there by Darcy Kemper toward the right pad. JT Comfort. Cross pass from O'Connor and stopped there by Ville Husso off the shorthanded chance. That was a great save. Jordan Kyrou still got it, holding off the backhand. Drop for Parayko. Kyrou picks it up. Chance for Buchnevich lets it go toward the right faceoff dot, and it gets blocked by the Avs. 5 seconds left to go on the St. Louis power play. Without a stick there is Jordan Kyrou. The St. Louis power play is going to end. They've had some chances, but so did Colorado, shorthanded. 8:45 left to go in the first period. 1-0 Colorado Avalanche. 10-8 on the shot board. Gabe Landeskog. He tries to let this one go and through a screen. Stopped there by St. Louis bodies before it hit Ville Husso. Now in toward the left face-off dot. This is Colton Parayko. Colton Parayko trying to get across the red line. He does. Darcy Kemper goes in behind the goal crease. Let's go Avalanche chance right now at Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. John here with you for the full game story and play-by-play. Back into Walker, Nathan Walker trying to spin off the backhand side. Eric Johnson is causing some trouble here. Try to get picked up by Falk. Shot him through a screen, goes wide and toward the left boards. Colorado emerges with this right now. Going back all the way with backhand, and Nathan McKinnon has his backhand attempt stopped there by Ville Husso. I believe he was trying to get around Falk and Parayko, and he almost did. And Ville Husso had to make a big save. We're going to get a commercial break right now. Let me give you the official time. It is 8 minutes left to go in the first. Nathan McKinnon just has his shot stopped. 1-0 Colorado. Come right back. We're going to call more first period action in a moment.
Or when you move out of the city and this is your new neighbor. Or when your parents come in for a visit and never leave. Yep, life changes pretty fast. The Scotia Total Equity Plan Mortgage has the flexibility to change with it. Scotiabank, the original thing.
Ontario, it is on. DraftKings Sportsbook has arrived. The sportsbook that offers the hockey team score a goal at 2-1 odds each day this month. Now you can legally bet same-game parlays, spreads, money lines, props, and more. And do it anytime, anywhere in the province.
McKinnon from Lekanen and Byron.
DraftKings Sportsbook is live with 2-1 odds on a hockey team to score a goal. Download the app and make it free.
We lost. Jedi cannot help what they are. Where is he?
Morning French fries in slow motion. Crisp Scott fries cooked in sunflower oil. Give your taste buds something to sing about and we are traveling.
From breaking news of the day to hard-hitting investigative journalism, find it on Canada's best national newscast, The National on CBC and CBC.
We're getting back into the action right now with 8 minutes left to go in the first period. It's been good so far, but it's been a little bit one-sided here for the Colorado Avalanche. Defensive zone one there by the Blues. Try to get a drop pass there to Ryan O'Reilly from David Perron. And this goes across the red line right now where it finds Colton Parayko. Perron trying to get across the red line. His pass gets intercepted there before it hits Brandon Saad. Stolen there by Thomas. Picked back up now by Koski, and now this goes to Kadri. where this goes in behind the goal cage now. Kadri trying to find this one. He does through a series of sticks, and now this finds Colton Pareko. Perron will just calmly bounce this one off the kick plate all the way into the defensive zone. Not going to be an icing here. 7:10 left to go in the first period. John, you're with you from Denver, Colorado. This Ball Arena. 3-1 lead for the Colorado Avalanche. The first potential elimination game in the Western Conference semifinals. Again, they're going to be waiting on the Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames to finish the job on that side. Edmonton's got a 3-1 lead, and I will have that call for you tomorrow. Bertuzzo's shot goes a little bit wide, picked up toward the right faceoff dot. A chance for Nicholas Obey-Cubel and JT Compher. This goes back on the other side for Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson trying to hold Vlad Tarasenko, and the Zebra had to dodge a stick there. Pick back up now as St. Louis, Ryan O'Reilly tries to keep this one alive. Spun around for Robert Bortuzzo. There's been a lot of forwards and defense trying to pinch it in close. Marco Scandello is trying to get in there as well. And now this goes back to Josh Manson and the Colorado Avalanche in behind their own net with 6:10 left to go in the first period of action. This is Game 5 of the Western Conference semifinal between Denver and St. Louis. Picked up at the line by Colorado as St. Louis tried to clear this one. They could not get it out. Bowen Byram, the young defenseman, he's going to hit this one across the kick plate. Nathan McKinnon plays it out in front, and the shot gets blocked there by the Blues. Gabe Landeskog holding off the backhand near the left faceoff dot, trying to let a wrist shot go, and the puck fluttered away from him before he could get it off. Picked back up now by Byram. Chance here for Taves and Byram. Byram now, he gets punished as this finds Landeskog. Landeskog with a chip and chase trying to win the battle against Nick Leddy. Still with Landeskog. Leddy tries to wear this one out. Back to Schenn. Intercepted there by Colorado nicely on the blue line side. Leddy is going to try this one more time on the right face-off circle across the red line now, but the Blues are offsides. Nathan Walker, Logan O'Connor, we're going to look at everybody right now. The Blues are offsides off the entry. 5:19 left to go in the first period of action. We get a stoppage. 1-0 Colorado. Come back. We'll call more first period action in a moment.
Cross the prairie, yeah, share my favorite trails, yeah, so stuff from anywhere, yeah. Got my house for a day, yeah, I've been everywhere. Wearing kids like Saturday, Ottawa, by the Bay, Mountain, Savoy, Edmonton, Calgary, Grand Prairie, Sarnia, Brandon, Victoria, Fredericton, London, Kelowna.
The heavy hitter. The original. The award winner. The nonconformist. The weekend warrior. There's an award-winning Ram truck just for you. Available now with our biggest inventory in 22 months of the Ram. Select those get up to $7,500 in total discounts, plus a 1% finance rate reduction.
I haven't been to McDonald's in a while, but the Canadian McDonald's is hot honey buffalo and spicy nugget dip. So we're getting back into the CBC action. It has been the forechecking that they're showing on Sportsnet for Colorado, and for good reason right now. They're winning puck battles. They're beating St. Louis down in their own game in the sense of defense and intensity. This is back in the official call right now. 5:10 left to go in the first period. John Hunter with you from Denver, Colorado. It's Ball Arena. It's a 3-1 series lead for the Avalanche. They want to go ahead and win this one, get some rest, and await the winner of the Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames. Again, Calgary will be at the Scotiabank Saddle Dome tomorrow. I'm going to have that call here for you. Pick back up and behind the cage. St. Louis, Ryan O'Reilly. Pass tried to get to him, but Nathan McKinnon was able to intercept this one. The first line's out there with Gabriel Landeskog. Trey Lekkonen. And man, that was an outlet pass for McKinnon, who was just speeding unabated one-on-one against Ville Husso, and St. Louis probably saw their life flash before their eyes. Saad lost it. This is kept from the blue line side by Bowen Byram. Spun around now for Gabe Landeskog. Landeskog centered it out in front. A chance there for Comfer a couple times, and it got knocked away by Ville Husso. Picked up now. Nichushkin trying to do some dirty dangles here as he tried to set up Logan O'Connor previously. He got wrapped, and his stick is down in between him as well. I don't know if he got hooked a little bit or held, but that was not called. There was a course of booze here in Denver. Bowen Byram gets this one back down. He tried to find Nazem Kadri. And now the puck goes across the red line here where St. Louis can try to recapture some momentum. Backhand shot right on. Just gloved and held there by Darcy Kemper. 349 mark. We got some pushing and shoving in front there with Vlad Tarasenko, but nothing really comes of it. So let me give you some official team stats here on ESPN box score. As it's 3:50 left to go in the first, it is 13 shots to 9 in favor of the Avalanche, 15 hits to 9 in favor of the Blues. Faceoffs are dead even at 5 apiece, and the one power play opportunity was killed off by the Avalanche, who are 17th of 18th, or 15th of 16th, apologize, for all the playoff teams that started in there in terms of penalty kill percentage. So you want to get that up, and at least they've killed the first one if you're a Colorado fan. So kicked out of the faceoff circle. This is going to be a chance there for Buchnevich. This is Comfer and Buchnevich on the draw. He wins it clean as Buchnevich. Tarasenko trying to find this and toward the left face without even a flutter this one in toward the net, and this goes up and on a play. 3:43 left to go in the first period. The St. Louis Blues are in the blue and white in the middle with a little bit of yellow piping. And the Colorado Avalanche, again, this season they have a little bit of a brighter looking blue with the maroon in the middle. They're going to be attacking right to left. St. Louis will be attacking left to right. This is in the Colorado defensive zone right now. St. Louis needs to win this draw to get something going here. Colorado has pretty much had their number since scoring the first goal here in Game 5 that we're commentating right now. Picked in toward the red line now. The left and right side is open. This is Helm. He's going to get this one in there deep. Logan O'Connor will be the lone pinch on the third line here for the Avalanche. Tarasenko having some trouble. And now this goes back on the other side for Folk on the defensive side for the Blues. Pick back in. Tarasenko will flutter this one in slowly. He's going to go ahead and take his change. At the 3:05 mark left to go in the first period. John Under with you from Denver, Colorado. Ball Arena, 1-0 lead right now, courtesy of Nathan McKinnon scoring within the first 4 minutes. 13-9 on the shot board in favor of the Avalanche. Stolen there by Helm toward the neutral zone. Jack Johnson plays a pass up front. It's sandwiched on the other side. Newhook now trying to find his way through this puck. Darren Helm will join in off the forecheck. Ryan O'Reilly tries to get this one out deep. He's stuck in his defensive zone. He got 200-foot game by the captain, but Colorado emerges with this thing. Slap pass for Byram. Eric Johnson lets it go in through the screen. Stopped by Ville Husso. Finds Johnson one more time. He lets it go one more time. Stopped by Husso a second time. And now he gloves and finally gets to hold this thing as there's some pushing and shoving and some pleasantries exchanged between Walker and O'Connor. A stick went flying. A chance here for O'Connor to go pick up a stick, and we're going to see whether or not the Zebras are going to give some offsetting 4-on-4. Looks like somebody might be headed to the box. Colorado, as it stands right now on the Chiron, has them going on a power play. So let me give you the official particulars here once we can get to it. So this is Robert Bertuzzo, 2 minutes for holding the stick of Darren Helm. And yes, that's plain as day now upon the second look. Darren Helm couldn't find the puck because he couldn't get a chance to put a stick on it. So Bertuzzo in the third line defense, he's going to the box. And Colorado has a chance to go on the power play here late. They are second in the playoffs, 33% on the power play. The penalty kill is 7th for the St. Louis Blues, just about 84%. Slap down the ice. St. Louis rattles this one around the kick plate, and they're the first to get to this now. Trying to look for a shorthanded chance, but Ryan O'Reilly lost the puck there as this goes back to Colorado. So we're just about 2 minutes left to go in the first period. So the power play is going to end probably about 20 seconds in for Colorado. So no carryovers here no matter what. Picked up now by Sod. Sod trying to skate in through 3 different Avalanche, and Nazem Kadri's out there on the power play. He's waiting in toward the middle, now finds his way toward the left wing as they hold. Nathan McKinnon, nice toe drag all the way through. Chance here for Landeskog and London, and now McKinnon scores off the backhand. So it was Arturi Lehkonen left it for Nathan McKinnon as he was just doing his whirling dervish there, windmills, backhands, toe drags. He found his way in front of the net. I couldn't clearly see it at the beginning of it. Nathan McKinnon has his second. So Nathan McKinnon gets across the defensive line, the blue line side, series of toe drags. This is Rodman, and then backhand, forehand. McKinnon undresses Ville Huso as the puck bounces off Colton Pareko and finds its way into the net. So the one thing you can say for Nathan McKinnon, that was a great move just to drive to the net from his own defensive zone to get into the offensive zone. Bad luck there for Colton Pareko off the bounce, but the effort is how you score goals. Logan O'Connor backhand hold. And I don't know if there's no other penalty being called. The power play goal here for McKinnon. This is the second of the game. O'Connor tried to leave this one for Eric Johnson. Slap shot held there by Ville Huso. And now we have some pushing and shoving with Shen. O'Connor as well. 15 shots to 9 in favor of the Avalanche. Nathan McKinnon's got his second. He got a little bit of help there from Colton Pareko as he's got his 7th of the playoffs now. The 18-23 mark on the power play assisted by Nico Rotten and Kale McCarr, both with 10 dimes. So the Avalanche, they've looked really good on their offensive side of things. Again, whether or not you get a little bit of luck there from Colton Pareko to get that bounce in there, it's from the hard work of Nathan McKinnon, who started it in his own defensive zone with a series of moves to be able to get into the box. And now they have cross-checking on Braden Shen. So this is one of those situations that we just talked about when he was trying to work over O'Connor. So the Avalanche have just scored 1 shot on their first power play, courtesy of Nathan McKinnon. They have a chance right now where this will have carryover time if they don't score within the last minute 5 that is left. So Kale McCarr, composed in behind his own cage right now, trying to work his way to the left side blue line. Gets across the red line now. McCarr all the way through, turns on the brakes, puts it around the net now where it finds Mikko Rantanen toward the right face-off dot. Rantanen, McKinnon was just the goal scorer. He's got 2 right now for the Avalanche. He's up 2-0 with 45 seconds left to go in the first period of Game 5 of this Western Conference semifinal. If Colorado wins, they're going to be advancing to take on the winner of Edmonton and Calgary. I'm on that call for you tomorrow. Cal McCarr, Rodman, McKinnon, play catch. Now this goes back to Nazem Kadri. Goes back to Landeskog now. Pass out in front for McKinnon. If he had a stick on that, he would have had a natural hat trick. McKinnon now holding toward the left faceoff, down now working his way on the high slot. Backhand, forehand, spin. Loose out in front. Russo dives and makes a huge save just before the period was going to expire. We got 13 seconds left in the first. If you didn't make that one, my goodness, you would have been in a dangerous situation there, being down 3-0. Nathan McKinnon looking for a natural hat trick in the first period. Mikko Rantanen, huge rebound, and Ville Huso closes the 5-hole just before they cross the red line. My goodness, what a save there by Ville Huso. 55 seconds left to go in the Colorado power play. This is Nathan McKinnon, O'Ryan, and Riley on the draw. McKinnon, chance to win an offensive zone draw to give Colorado another chance. Chance at 3 before the end of the first period. Face-off won by the captain of the Blues. Wired down the ice. As Darcy Kemper will play this one with a goal stick. Colorado probably doesn't have time to get all the way down there. We'll see what Kale McCarr is going to do. This is just going to end. 45 seconds still left to go on the Colorado power play. All Avalanche after 1. Nathan McKinnon's got a pair. When we come back, we're going to call second period action. Have a good one. I'll see you soon. And if there is anyone else left in the Colorcast side of things or YouTube, we can interact during the intermission. But if not, I'll be back in the second period.
This period of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to See how we're changing the game at scotiabank.com/hockeyforall.
In Canada, we have a taste for cold, like creamy cool Hershey's chocolate syrup mixed with graham cracker crumble and finished with marshmallow with chocolate. For that delicious cold you crave, new Hershey's S'mores Ice Cap. It's time for tips.
Gillette introduces the all-new Gillette Labs with exfoliating bar. The razor designed to give you a quick and easy shave. It combines shaving and gentle exfoliation into one efficient stroke. The bar and the handle removes unseen dirt and debris that gets in the way of the blades, giving you a shave as quick and easy as washing your face. So you can look like putting an effort, effortlessly. Razor handle guaranteed to last 5 years or will replace it. Gillette, best man can get.
The next tale is a digital treasure trove charming every private station. Number one, emails. The ones you look in the red, drugstore purchases. Rapid transactions. My head 600. 620. 600. 660. 660.
As a world champion, when I walked out off the phone, I knew I could break away. I still could be big. Every day starts.
Maple City Marine is Canada's largest skimboat dealer, powered by Yamaha outboards, featuring the 240 XSF with sling lines and high performance, making this the hottest boat in its class. We've got you covered. Maple City Marine, taking families boating for over 70 years. If you've been injured in an accident or a fall or been attacked by a dog, you need to be lawyer now.
For 30 years, Cats No Effect has been fighting for people who deserve compensation.
Call Cats No Effect and let us make the law work for you. Celebrate Asian Heritage Month
On CBC, CBC Gem, and at CBC.
Thanks, Maple.
You vamos de novo.
So,
Isn't it weird?
Melbourne Super 2019.
Breaking news when it happens. Get the CBC News app now for the latest local and international breaking stories that matter to you. Download the free CBC News app today. Score One Sports Day. Blue Jays are in LA to face Otani and Angels. It's a pair of Game 5s in the Stanley Cup playoffs. First, the Rangers follow the Kings. Then the Flames look to avoid elimination against the Oilers. And on the heartbeat, Galaxy Golden.
Okay, so got both of those goals written in there. I'm going to take a bathroom break probably momentarily, and then we're going to get a little bit of this intermission content because I got some thoughts I want to share. Again, I might be getting a little bit ahead of myself as far as the secondary game we'll be covering. But again, if I cover this one with or without Cooper Hopkins, I have some thoughts that I want to share with the Avs and the Edmonton Oilers. So we will get to that momentarily.
Fabulous start for McKinnon in Colorado. 2-zip after 20 minutes with Kevin and Anthony and Elliot. Look, I've been slobbering over McDavid for a few days, and now I'm going to do it about McKinnon. He was unbelievable in that first period. We talked about how if you're Colorado, you get all over them quick, and you don't even give St. Louis a chance to think there could be a Game 6. And he did that. He was possessed from the first shift of the game. He was demanding of the puck. He was all over the ice. That's fantastic, just before he scores. And he was constantly creating things. Husso, I thought, was brilliant. It could have been a lot worse. The thing I like most about McKinnon is if you ask him about how good a player he is, he'll answer you with, I haven't done anything in this game because I haven't won. And I think he's so incredibly motivated by that. And tonight he's having a great performance. Anthony, he could have had 1,000 goals.
Yeah, absolutely. And the St. Louis Blues had a chance to get on the board earlier on in the first period here. I think we're going to take a look. It was a 4-on-2 that we're going to take a look at here in a second.
You see him put it through his legs there, though, on that last goal? Potentially go through his legs. You didn't see it.
Yeah, so back to the 4-on-2. So, in the playoffs, it's all about details here. You have this Davis going to the net, but he's got to have the stick on the net because The flank there, he's going to take a look. If he sees you, you're sticking in the air, you're not going to be an option. So hold on.
All right, so
He's commanding the puck with a little bit of a bigger tail.
let me just, I'll pull this stuff up here quickly here. I know this is going to be for an intermission conversation. I don't know how deep I'm going to go into all of this, but this will give me a better look as far as doing the game tomorrow as well.
Two Mansons, Dave and his son, are on a collision course. Calgary will have something to say about that tomorrow night. Bowling Fire.
So this is the chance. What does it say?
But nobody saw it. So I want to show this guy has been taking the next step. And I
Question.
think about like how do you develop a young defenseman? Well, you don't just
All
give him
right,
first
so I'm going to pull both of these stats up here.
You let him watch the guys in front of him learn. He develops slowly at his pace. And he's certainly taking things that he sees and with Collar and Taves and Manson and Gerard in front of him and applying them. This is just a great defensive read.
This is going to give me a little bit of a breakdown here for the intermission as far as covering the game tomorrow and kind of share some of my thoughts. And again, we did a couple games, we did only one game in this series as far as Edmonton and Calgary. That was the game one win, but we haven't really been able to go over the rest of this stuff. And again, for some of these stats, I made my case in the game one intermission, the first intermission, about what I thought about the situation between the two teams and their point totals and all that. We're going to break this down right now. I got this almost all set up here. So let's think about it like this. Both teams coming off of 7-game series wins, whether it was the Los Angeles Kings for the Edmonton Oilers or the Dallas Stars for the Calgary Flames. So we all have 11 games played across the board right now. Again, Edmonton's got a 3-1 advantage going into tomorrow before they go into the Saddle Dome. So Connor McDavid in 11 games is 25 points. He's a plus 17. I mean, he's an absolute god. We know about that. So Leon Draisaitl, 11 games, 22 points. 2 points a game on that side, plus 5. Here's the thing with Evander Kane. 11 games, 12 goals, 3 assists, 15 points. What I've said throughout Edmonton, throughout the regular season and going into the first round, I thought maybe, okay, with the LA Kings, it still took them 7 games. But the LA Kings might have had this one if Drew Doughty was on the ice. It was all hands on deck here for LA, right? They had a chance. What I'm seeing right now in this series, again, Connor McDavid, 6 and 19, 25 points. Evander Kane, 12 goals. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 4. Zach Hyman, 7. I'm seeing that goal scoring that I did not think that I was going to see. I thought more toward, like I told Cooper, in the 82 games, he had that chasm of points. I think he perfectly described it too. It was 125, 110, and 55 for RNH. Chasm of points. You're not having the chasm in the NHL playoffs. Look, you can say 25 and 22 between Connor and Leon Draisaitl. I understand that. But you still have 15 points in 11 games for Kane, 10 points in 11 for Nugent-Hopkins, 9 points in 11 for Hyman. Your defenseman, Evan Bouchard, 7 and 11, 7 and 11 for Ceci, 11 and 6 for Yamamoto. Every single person is doing heavy lifting right now for the Edmonton Oilers, and that's why they're in the situation that they're in. Look, the game last night, I can say this to you honestly, in between that score line, when Edmonton had 5, it was a 5-3 win. Again, they were up 3-0. Calgary came back, scored 3, tied it at 3, and then lost 5-3. It was 5 goals, and none of them were scored by Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl. And if you're Calgary, that's a freaking problem. And then there's also another problem on this side of the sense that, look, you can make fun of Mike Smith all you want. In game 1, where he got pulled within 4 shots, gave up 3 goals, and they had to go back into Mikko Koskinen. It said a lot about Mike Smith and maybe a little bit for Calgary as far as a missed opportunity when they were up 2-0 in game 2, and then all of a sudden Edmonton got their defense together, finished some things off. Mike Smith has a .931 save percentage in the playoffs with a .260 goals against. Calgary's a really good offensive team. He's 7-3 in the postseason right now. Those are really good numbers. not just for a 40-year-old goalie, but those are numbers right now that you would take opposite of anyone else other than Andre Vasilevsky. Sergei Bobrovsky would kill for those numbers. So Edmonton, across the board, they're just outplaying Calgary. And then there's a certain situation where I throw it to you like this. Again, some of the heavy numbers there, it kind of carries over from a little bit. Okay, you know, Gaudreau, Kachuk, Lindholm. Look, I get it. Points are fine. But it goes down to this. At the end of the day, when you look at Jacob Markstrom, he has a .906 save percentage. His goals against isn't awful. It's not great. 278 goals against, but a .906 save percentage. And the majority of this damage, he's given up 30 goals in the playoffs right now in 11 games. It's not good enough. And if they want to turn this around, I hate to throw this all on one guy, but he really have to do this now. Markstrom was a candidate for the Vezina for a reason. He belongs in that conversation. In the playoffs, he's kind of let his team down. In the sense of one series, again, Dallas isn't that same type of team, and Cooper made a great point on this before. Between Jacob Markstrom and his regular season numbers and now his postseason numbers against Edmonton are not good. And again, I understand McDavid and Draisaitl, but it's everybody else that's also scoring as well. He's not been sharp. Dan Vladar has made one appearance in that third period from a couple games ago. He was 7-7 with the saves, and that was his only time. I'm not going to blame Daryl Sutter for sticking with Jacob Markstrom. It seems to be the only option. But Calgary's season essentially comes down to tomorrow. Not just because they have to win to avoid being eliminated, but in the sense of you've got to find a game where Jacob Markstrom can get 3 goals or less. And preferably probably 2. He's got to be able to steal a game. He's not done so. He's very capable of doing so. He's the type of goalie that can, but he's not shown this at all. If this does not change, Colorado and Edmonton are going to be playing each other, and that's going to be a series I think everybody's going to be tuned into because, again, you still have one of the Canadian teams still left alive. But Jacob Markstrom has to take it upon himself and figure this out for Calgary. They cannot go down like this after winning game 1 and then losing 4 straight. That would be an absolute disaster. I understand, again, how good Edmonton is playing, but you have to show some pride. Find a way in that to get it done. If that .906 save percentage gets even worse tomorrow, there is going to be a lot of finger pointing at the end of it. I hope Cooper does the game with me tomorrow because he's going to have more thoughts to share than I. But those are just my thoughts going into tomorrow. Hopefully he can join me or something else. I'm going to have that call with you. Apparently someone else on ColorCast will be doing that as well. So regardless, hopefully you get a chance to listen in. It could be another potential elimination game like this one is tonight, again tomorrow on Thursday, between the Flames and the Oilers. So I hope you stick around for that. But again, we're in the first intermission between the Avalanche and Blues. It's 2-0, courtesy of Nathan McKinnon scoring both, one even strength, one on the power play. I will be back to call the second period action here in a moment.
Now to place your bets and remind you to play responsibly. Thank you so much, Andy. And back to you.
Are you ready, Cabby? Are you ready, Andy? All right, the tricks are getting better at Ball Arena. Just a reminder, tomorrow evening we're on the air 70T, Rangers, Carolina, and then followed with Hockey Central is at 9 Eastern, 7 local, and the big game, Game 5 in the Battle of Alberta. What? They're putting the biscuit in the basket? Twice? Who do they think they are, Nate Dogg?
Closed caption, brought to you in part by RBC. Start trading with RBC Direct Investing and get 100 commission-free trades. Make way for the first ever Chevrolet Silverado ZR2. With Multimatic shocks, rugged 33-inch tires, and front and rear electronic locking differentials. Dude, this is awesome. We should get back to it. That's good. Perfect. If you're going to work remote. Find new workspaces. Find new roads. Chevrolet. Lemons. The world is so full of lemons. When you become an Expedia member, you can instantly start saving on your travels. So you can go and see all those lemons for less.
Introducing Tim's new loaded wraps. Each loaded wrap is packed with tasty grains, your choice of slow-cooked or crispy seasoned chicken, and our flavorful habanero or cilantro lime sauce. Deliciously satisfying. New Tim's loaded wraps. Try one today.
And weekend is back. Thinking Mac is ready to make it to fast money for a chance at $10,000. And find out and see if you've got what it takes.
So I apologize, a little bit of a shorter work week here this week. Just covering this game and the Flames game tomorrow. Probably try to get a basketball game in on Sunday. We'll be spending some more time with the fiance on Saturday. So today, tomorrow, and then probably Sunday as well. And then we'll probably get back to a more of a normalized schedule. Because we've been running about 5 of 7. At least I want to try to get back to that. But as the playoffs and everything else kind of shut down, and the lower rounds, getting to the point between basketball and hockey is we're getting close to, conference finals, NBA finals, things like that. More people are going to want to try to take those assignments here on Colorcast. So I'm going to get whatever I can get. Obviously, not going to get a lot of people there because everybody and their mother is covering the Celtics and Heat and watching all of that stuff in there as well. So I'm going to stick with you here on the ice and try to get some things together right now. So first quarter action is Boston and Miami tied at 15 apiece with 2:12 left in the first. I'll keep you abreast of that situation. Again, just one hockey game tonight. We're going to have more games tomorrow as the Rangers and the Hurricanes will get set for Game 5. That series is tied at 2. But I'll keep you abreast of the basketball situation. We'll make it closer to that point.
The Avalanche and Ricochet had a long conversation with Chris Rooney before going to the penalty box. I'm sure he was asking about that cross-check. I think that communication between players is essential to say, listen,
all right.
We don't want that extra stuff. But for the Avalanche, how could that drop penalties against the St. Louis team in this series?
So Colorado are already up 2-0. Their power play is going to carry over here from the second. Get back in the official action right now. The power play is won there by St. Louis on the kill, so that was good for them on that side. Darcy Kemper will come out of his goal crease. He gets run over a little bit there, but he was able to get that puck out. Nathan McKinnon, who scored 2, going to drop this one for Mikko Rantanen. Rantanen tried to hit this off the kick play. Cale Makar did not chase. He's going to elect us with the big lead at 2-0 right now to go back and take his time. 15 seconds remaining on the extended power play from the first here for Colorado. Chance on the right wing side being held in there nicely. Cale Makar, nice look ahead there for Devin Tays. Spun now for Mikko Rantanen toward the left faceoff dot. Chance here now for Cale Makar. Plays it across. Tays. He lets this one go as it goes in behind the goal crease. The St. Louis Blues return back to full strength. Nathan McKinnon now, as Rantanen lost it, picked up now by Colorado one more time, and it's chipped up and out of play. 19:04 left to go in the second period, as we're just really underway here in this middle stanza. John out here with you from Denver, Colorado. It's Ball Arena. This is one of those first potential elimination games in the Western Conference semifinals, as the Avalanche are up 3-1 right now. And they have a 2-0 lead, courtesy of Nathan McKinnon. It's been all McKinnon. And in the sense of everybody talking about Connor McDavid, as Mikko Rantanen gets 2 minutes for holding the stick here, so St. Louis Blues will get their second power play opportunity. But Nathan McKinnon has been in that same conversation. Again, not those same lofty point totals, but That's what you can do when your team is so good. So the shot gets blocked there by Shen. And now this goes back toward the Avalanche defensive zone. This goes up and on a play again. So 0 for 1 is St. Louis on their power play. They've got 2 shots. As you get a chance to look at Vladimir Tarasenko and Darcy Kemper going back into the goal cage. 18:49 left to go in the second. Again, it's been a power play extended that ended for the Colorado Avalanche, and now St. Louis gets a chance for their second one as Mikko Rantanen is in the box. 18 shots to 10 in favor of Colorado, 2-0 on the score line. Chance for Ryan O'Reilly. Offensive zone draw. St. Louis really needs this one right now, and they cannot get it. David Perron trying to be the lone forechecker here for the Blues, and this one goes down the ice from Val Nichushkin. Picked up now by Justin Falk in behind the goal cage is Ville Husso again. For as long as St. Louis can go, again, this could be an end as quickly as tonight, but Jordan Binnington is done for the rest of the playoffs after that collision. Well, the Blues fans want to blame Nazem Kadri for that, but it's one of the Blues players that got in front. Nazem Kadri is chasing for a puck, and it's an unfortunate wrong place, wrong time thing. And again, because of the history with Nazem Kadri, you want to have some things to say about it, but as it is, Binnington is out, and he's not going to be able to return. So it's Ville Husso's net unless something really, really bad happens here. So Falk plays this one ahead for Perron. He lost it, and Colorado gets this down the ice one more time. A lot of window dressing here for St. Louis. I can't even really say that. They've not been able to get started here. 37% road power play is second in the NHL in the playoffs out of the 16 teams that were available to start. Chance in the middle, and chance stopped for Darcy Kemper, as that was it looked for Jordan Kyrou, and he got the right glove on it to Darcy Kemper. It was a one-on-one opportunity there. Beautiful pass there. I think Parayko was the one that set him up. This was a chance for Tarasenko off a leave. They're showing off the previous, and they were showing some clears there for Colorado. So Pavel Buchnevich found Jordan Kyrou going one-on-one on the other side, and he missed it. 35 seconds left to go in the St. Louis power play. No goals in the last 20 playoff games. 26 shots though for Robert Thomas. Been very, very active. You just can't find the back of the net. And Colorado clears this behind the net one more time. And this is where St. Louis can take their time. Robert Thomas gets the zone entry there. Pavel Buchnevich bounced too hard off the kick plate. Colorado gets it down across the red line. And St. Louis's power play is down to 10 seconds left to go. Pavel Buchnevich trying to get across that red line. Thomas, his shot attempt was stopped there by the giant goal stick of Darcy Kemper. And Colorado returns to full strength as all the fans cheer and wave those white towels. They've killed the second penalty of the contest there against Colorado. Nick Leddy gets this one down now for Saad. Saad trying to get the lone forecheck there. Tried to steal this one. Colorado finds it first and toward the left face-up dot. Now across the red line, the puck is a little disheveled. It bounced between his Kel McCarr. Can get this one down. Across the red line, you can chip and chase this one in without an icing. Colorado finds his one with Val Nichushkin. McCarr gets it from his defensive partner, holding off the spin. McCarr working his way into the high slot. Left across with a pass, and it goes high off the kick play, back across the red line in the own zone. Kel McCarr will be the first one to it. 16:10 left to go in the second period of this contest. 2-0 courtesy of Nathan McKinnon. Chance here for Arturi Lehkonen. His shot gets stopped by the 5-hole of Ville Husso with a low pad save. Perron trying to cross crease a pass there and a hybrid icing. Trying to find O'Reilly is going to go against the Blues. 16:03 left in the second. Colorado Avalanche are in the really cerulean-type Blues in maroon middle. They're going to be attacking left to right, and the St. Louis Blues right to left across the timeline and radio dial, with the top blue, the white piping with the yellow as well. Offensive zone draw here for the Avs. This is Gabriel Landeskog, the captain. He's going against the other captain, Ryan O'Reilly. So we'll see who's got the advantage. Usually Riley is really good on these draws. He can't win it, though. Picked back up by McCarr. Scores! Tipped out in front. This could be Mikko Rantanen or maybe just Devin Taves right out in front of his goal. 3-0 Avalanche. They are trying to close this series out, and they are well on their way. 15:58 left to go in the second period. Again, not sure upon second look if this was tipped by Landeskog. He won it clean. It was set back out there through the blue line, left to Tays, and it was tipped by Landeskog. This is Gabriel Landeskog, the captain's goal, tipped out by Devin Tays toward that left side blue line. 3-0 Avalanche. So the St. Louis Blues are on life support. Ville Husso, again, not much he could do on that one. Colorado is doing it all. His 22nd career playoff goal for the captain, Gabriel Landeskog, as the Colorado Avalanche are now enjoying a 3-0 lead. 15:40 left to go in the second period. Avalanche get dumped in their own end. Bowen Byram tries to get this one down to Nazem Kadri and picked up by the Blues. And 6 of the playoffs at the 4:02 mark, and it was assisted by Devin Tays and Nathan MacKinnon. St. Louis hemmed in their own defensive zone right now as Ville Husso goes out and plays this one to Falk. Falk tried to get this down from Parayko. Picked back up now. Parayko's got it, and he lost it. Robert Thomas has to go all the way back there with Pavel Buchnevich. Buchnevich now spins this one. Bertuzzo holding in toward the red line. St. Louis just doing a ring around the rosy here. They can't get across the red line. Tried to get a hit there for Buchnevich to leave it open for Thomas to get off the forecheck, and Barbashev can't hold it in. This goes back to Scandella, and it's going to be an icing against the Avalanche. So 3-0 Colorado with the lead right now. Again, Gabriel Landeskog, the captain, has just made it a 3-0 lead about 4 minutes into the second period. It was Nathan MacKinnon with the other 2 goals. So the first line doing all the damage right now for the Avalanche. They have a 3-1 series lead. They're looking to await the winner of the Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames. And they're well on their way right now to getting some early rest. Face-off stolen there. It was won by St. Louis, stolen by the Avalanche. Chipped and chased now down to Nicolas Aubé-Kubel as he gets knocked off the puck. Darren Hellman there as well with Logan O'Connor on that third line. Josh Manson also waiting on the third line defense. This goes to Ivan Barbashev. Barbashev holding off the backhand toward the left face-off dot. Left there on the defensive side for Falk. Falk tried to spin it around the goal cage of Darcy Kemper, and Buchnevich still on this thing. He's working his way in behind the goal cage one more time. Pass out in front. Tarasenko lets it go, and it gets blocked by the Cerulean and Maroon in front before it even hit Darcy Kemper. Picked up now by Robert Thomas. He's trying to find his way to the high slot. He's being hounded heavily here by Colorado. And again, I wouldn't say defensive shell at 3-0. At the 13:55 mark of the second period, you got a long way to go at that point. But I will say this: you can play that neutral zone trap and play right into the hands as St. Louis is trying to get in the zone, and they just don't have the bodies to be able to get out there in front. It's going to be another icing as Scandella gets their first here for St. Louis, but it's going to be really difficult for Greg Berube's squad, not only to just break through, but in the sense when you have that lead, you can play that trap and kind of stop anything that St. Louis wants to do in the offensive zone. But really at this point, again, in the second period at 13:44 left to go in the second, John Underwood from Ball Arena, Denver, Colorado, one of those situations where you can't panic. There's still lots of time left to go on the score clock. Nico Mikkola gets his shot blocked. You got to run your game plan. But I would say as soon as the third period starts, if the score line is still the same or worse, that's when you really kind of have to just use any kind of pressures you can and go for offense. You're going to give up more goals that way. But if the third period starts and it's still 3-0, as we're sitting 13:20 in the second, then all bets are off at that point. You have to go for offense. So Scandella finds this one now. He leaves this one for Bertuzzo. Bertuzzo now trying to skate in there with Colton Parayko. Parayko now and Scandella as the lines are mixed up there for Greg Berube. This is a 3-on-4. A man down there is Colorado and the offensive chance. Landeskog trying to keep this one free. Kel McCarr does. This goes high in off the kick plate. He's in behind the own net, so the defenseman is pinched all the way in. So look for the forwards to kind of get in the correct spot and force that out. St. Louis does find this one with Falk as this goes all the way down into the defensive zone. Picked up now by Devin Tays. Nice look ahead. Avalanche might have something. Nathan MacKinnon. Cross pass. Stop there by Ville Husso. with the left goal stick. That could have been 4-0 Avalanche. What a save that was for Villahuso. He's already had a couple of 10-bell save opportunities there. This scoreline could be a lot worse than 3-0. It was Nathan McKinnon off the cross pass. It was stopped there momentarily, and it was partially probably stopped by the stick of Nick Leddy, but it was a save that still found Villahuso off of a tip, and he had to make a left pad save. 12:28 left to go in the second period as Nick Leddy now playing with the St. Louis Blues since coming over from the Detroit Red Wings. It goes back to Mikko Rantanen. Now Eric Johnson, he gets his bid deflected as this goes in toward the left faceoff dot now in behind the goal cage of Villahuso. Chance here for the Blues to try to get organized. Jordan Kyrou gets this one across the red line. Finds Darcy Kemper. I haven't seen much of David Perron, but they got to get him going right now. He has been the Blues' hottest player, and he's one of those ones with Ryan O'Reilly that can turn this thing around if they get some chances. Chance there for Perron off the one-timer, goes a little wide, and now Nico Mikkola might be going to the box as he got a heavy hit there on Nazem Kadri. He is shaking his chicklets again. Nazem Kadri is one of those ones, if you're looking on the other side for St. Louis and saying he's the one that injured Jordan Binnington, which simply isn't true. He's going after a loose puck as a high stick from Mikkola got up in the face of Kadri. We got a discussion. 11:50 left to go in the second period. We're going to take a commercial break and organize any penalties if there is any.
Huron Tractor, the right choice. Visit HuronTractor.com today. It's not how you fall, it's how you get back up. Goldstein DiBiase represents clients in all serious personal injury lawsuits with care. Trusted relationships through the entire legal process. Goldstein DiBiase. Call us first. 519-253-5242.
Discussion to see whether or not they touched the puck on the play because the St. Louis Blues movies arguing right now that it was a foul to him. But watch this. Kadri's the one that chips it to the boards, not Mikkola. He gets his stick in there first. Mikkola slashes at that puck.
So Nico Mikkola is going to go to the box here for St. Louis. Colorado already up 3-0. You got the stick up in the face of Nazem Kadri. And it's a power play here for the Avalanche. Greg Berube's probably just holding on to anything worth his salt right now. Try to find a way to get St. Louis back into this game. And Nico Mikkola, no doubt about it, right into the visor, into the nose of Nazem Kadri. There's no blood, so that's why it's just 2 minutes. Face-off there is stuck in between a host of bodies on both sides till it finally finds Justin Falk from the Blues, and he clears this one down the ice. Again, the Colorado Avalanche this period are going to be attacking left to right. This is Kel McCarr in behind the goal crease, and this goes all the way down where it's going to be an icing against the Avalanche, as the pass did not go tape to tape. So it is, let me give you your goal scorers here. We'll get this reset as we get some time. First period goal scorers were Nathan McKinnon on the even strength from Bowen Byram and Trey Lehkonen. Then Nathan McKinnon on the power play at the 18:23 mark from Kel McCarr and Mikko Rantanen. And in the second period, a tip from the captain, Gabriel Landeskog, his 6th of the playoffs from Devin Tays and Nathan McKinnon. So McKinnon's got 3 points in this game, has been very strong. Face-off won by St. Louis, stolen from Buchnevich. And here's a chance here for O'Connor. lets the shot go, and it's stopped there by the right glove of Ville Husso. Put in behind the cage, and now Colorado can reset with Kel McCarr. A minute 20 left to go on the Avalanche power play. Not really sure if it's particularly important whether or not they score on this power play, already being up 3-0, but in the sense of almost hitting the halfway mark of the second period, just play that good defense and do everything they're doing. Shot stopped by Husso on the left side pad, picked up now by the Avalanche. Nice work to be able to keep this. Cross pass for Rodman, stopped by Husso. My goodness, this could be 7-0. I know it's 3, but try not to exaggerate here. Beautiful drop from McKinnon. McCarr lets it go into the screen. Stopped by Husso. McCarr now toward the top of the slot. It's Landeskog. He's going to let this one go. Kadri. Landeskog now. Right face-off dot. Holding. Leaves for McCarr. McCarr through the screen. Try to get tapped home by Kadri. Picked up by Landeskog. McKinnon and Landeskog. Kadri play catch. Centered out in front for McKinnon. And it goes just wide off the stick. Great puck movement there by Colorado on that power play. That was picturesque. They did not score just yet, but they have time for one more rush. About 13 seconds left to go on this power play. Getting across the red line now as this is dumped in. Avalanche are the first ones on it. Nichushkin tried to drop it there for McKinnon, and it was turned over there. Brandon Saad, shorthanded. Now St. Louis returns to even strength. They keep this one in. Robert Thomas still holding and behind the cage. Thomas trying to get around a couple checks there from Devin Tays. Thomas still with this thing. Finds Nicoletti. He does some work to try to get across that blue line. To get around on Trey Lekanen. Vladimir Tarasenko. He's been bottled up so far in this series. Tarasenko. Saad plays it to Tarasenko. There's 3 Colorado sticks in front of him. As this is Leddy and Parayko. It's a 3-on-2 Colorado. Wrist shot goes just to the right of the boards. Picked up now by the Blues as Tarasenko has to try to chip this one ahead. And Colorado intercepts this thing. 9 minutes left to go in the second period of this contest. 3-0 Avalanche. John Otter with you from Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. It is a 3-1 series lead for the Avs. They want to close this out in Denver, and they're in good paces to do so right now. St. Louis hasn't really had much of the offensive attack to speak of at all. Darcy Kemper, he could have been a pillow back there with all intents and purposes. So we'll see if St. Louis can try to find it here. The sense of desperation will probably kick in as the third period begins. O'Connor couldn't get it out. St. Louis has it now. Walker plays to Scandella. Scandella, nice shot block there for O'Connor to stop the bid for Scandella. O'Connor gets roughed up there by Scandella. Picked up now by Evan Barbashev. Leaving for Shen into the screen. It goes wide of Kemper now. 8:10 left to go. This is in toward the left faceoff dot. Colorado desperately trying to get this out of their zone. St. Louis trying to hem them in. And now it finally goes back to the red line where it was waiting for Justin Falk. Chance there for Nico Mikkola. Back to Falk. Falk lets it go. Wrist shot stopped there by Darcy Kemper. And now we have some pushing and shoving between Manson and Walker. And we may have a penalty call. We're going to sort this one out once we come back in from the break, if we're going to be taking one. 7:58 left to go in the second. So they're showing some Colorado highlights here. I'm more concerned at this point of whether or not there's going to be a power play opportunity for one of these teams. But 7:56 left to go in the second. It is 3-0 Avalanche. The first 2 goals in the first, courtesy of Nathan McKinnon. The second one is from Gabriel Landeskog. We're going to be taking a break. We'll sort anything out when we come back at the 7:56 mark of the second.
They went in last year.
Okay, here's an idea. Split with friends and the RBC mobile app divides the cost between everyone and sends them requests to the pay.
Handy.
And they get automatic reminders.
Can we set one for last year too?
5:34 in the second. It's 29-25. What the hell is going on in this low-scoring basketball game? So it's 29-25 with 5:34 to go in the second quarter. It was just a 19-17 advantage for Miami in the first and a 10-8 advantage right now in the second. Tatum is 1 for 8. Brown is 1 for 5 for the Celtics. And for the Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler has 7. He's tied with Caleb Martin for the leading scorer. Very odd game. We'll get you a scoring update when we get closer to the second intermission here between the Avalanche and the Blues. It is 3-0 Colorado with 7:56 left to go in the second stanza. Again, if there's anybody in the YouTube side of things, if there's anybody in the ColorCast side of things, leave some comments in the section box, and I'll definitely interact with you. So as I thought, coming back in from the break, we do have a penalty. This one's going to be against Colorado for O'Connor for roughing. Again, they had some other listing on ESPN as well, but this is just one penalty, so a 5-on-4 advantage here for the Blues. They have a chance on their third power play of the game. They're 0 for 2 with 3 shots to try to get first blood for themselves, but they're down 3-0. David Perron tried to leave this one for Shin toward the left faceoff dot. Now Shin goes back to Perron. Perron being hounded there nicely by Colorado. He still has it now, but they bounce this too hard off the kick plate where Colorado can try to get this one out. Tarasenko tried to go all the way out the forecheck and knock this one loose, but it goes all the way down to Ville Husso. So 1:05 left to go on the St. Louis power play. Their third of the game right now. They're taking their sweet time here with Justin Falk in behind the goal cage. And now Colorado intercepts this one more time across the red line. So St. Louis, within the first couple power play opportunities, they've not been able to get anything going. This is a chance for Buchnevich. Now we're going to leave us here for Falk. Falk holding off the left faceoff dot as he had to pinch in there a little bit forward. Pareko lets the slap shot go. And a chance for Darcy Kemper. He saw it all the way. He made that glove save and he held it calmly. 6:33 left to go in the second period. Colorado up 3-0 in this game. They're up 3-1 in the series. They are trying to close out the St. Louis Blues here in Game 5, and they're going to await the winner of the Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames. I'm going to have that call for you here tomorrow here on ColorCast, YouTube side of things, wherever you get your calls. That's going to be there for you at the about 9:45 Eastern mark. We have a late game tomorrow. St. Louis in the offensive zone now on the left faceoff dot, and they could not win it, but it was not cleared. Chance here for Falk. He lets it go into the screen, and it goes high and wide off the kick plate near the left faceoff dot now of the Colorado defense. Colorado trying to get this one out, and now they do. This goes all the way down the ice, and this is going to find Colton Pareko. Pareko is going to leave this here for Robert Thomas, the centerman. Going to try to use some skating legs to bounce this all the way across into the zone, and nothing doing once more. Colorado clears it down the ice. Colton Pareko, Thomas trying to break out one more time as they're going between left, middle, and right to keep this spots open. It stopped with Darcy Kemper's glove, picked up Falk, skates all the way in the right faceoff dot. Holding, loses it off the backhand. Falk trying to find it. This is played in between his skates as this tries to go from Robert Thomas. Brandon Saad also trying to join in here for St. Louis. Colorado gets it out across the red line. This is dumped in by St. Louis. St. Louis can find it first. Vlad Tarasenko, he's kind of hovering in behind the net right now. It finds him. Pass out there for Letty. Letty holding, wrist shot into the screen. Hit there by the maroon and cerulean blue. And it goes in the net. Vlad Tarasenko scores it. Forgive me, I didn't see that one clean. 5:18 left to go in the second period. Vlad Tarasenko makes it 3-1. St. Louis gets on the board. So it was a Letty shot in from the left side of the blue line. Tarasenko dumps it in deep. This goes back around to Letty. Letty in through the screen. Picked up by Tarasenko. And Tarasenko in between 3 Colorado players in between Lukinen and the defensive pair. He roofs it. So Vlad Tarasenko makes it 3-1, his 41st career playoff goal. So Colorado still enjoying a 3-1 lead. Tarasenko's cut into that a little bit. 5 minutes left to go in the second. Shot goes to the left of Darcy Kemper. That was just a good heads-up play there by Tarasenko. In through all sorts of traffic. I don't think anybody could track where the puck was, but Tarasenko could, and he found it and scored it. Nathan MacKinnon holding off the back skate, gets it back for Burakovsky. I think that was Nichushkin, and that goes up and on a play. 4:45 left in the second period. Vlad Tarasenko puts the St. Louis Blues on the board, but they're still down 3-1. 4:45 left in the middle stanza. Come right back. Let's finish off the second period.
Find redefined style, refresh style, roomy style. Captured style. Introducing the first ever Chevrolet Equinox RS. Find new style. Find new roads. You need a left.
Who needs napkins? You've got pants. Playoff pants are back.
When we come back once again, officially, they're drawing only taking into the X game as the offense backs drops coming to hockey game support this team. And that's the way they play this one tonight. Connor Center's got 2 wicked whiskers. He bounces off that loose puck, struggles it up, sets it home. And we talked about Cameron and a few others of the Stars that have to get going in this series if they want a chance to fall back into this one.
Back into the official action right now. Offensive zone draw 1 by the Avalanche. And then momentarily just put out of play. So a neutral zone draw. 4:40 left to go in the second period. St. Louis Blues now have some hope. It was an unassisted goal by Vlad Tarasenko at the 14:42 mark of the second period that made it 3-1. Another face-off win there. There's a chance for Eric Johnson. Eric Johnson now out there with Josh Manson in the third line defense. Picked up now by Colorado on the red line side of things as this is dumped in to Lake Huso. We'll play this one. Velnichuskin gets knocked off the puck. Kadri tried to center it, and this was picked up by Nico Mikkola. Mikkola gets it down across the red line and now has to go all the way back to try to go ahead and play this thing. So Mikkola is going to be on the left side of things as this goes toward Bortuzzo. Bortuzzo now in behind the goal cage of Ville Huso, still waiting and biding his time. It's down to 4 minutes. There's a partial break attempt that was cut off before Pavel Buchnevich could get there for the Blues. Picked up in Colorado with Arturi Lehkonen in the defensive zone, kept in by Nick Leddy. Leddy now spinning it in front. And a stop there for Darcy Kemper as Tyler Bozak was on the doorstep and Kemper gloved it down before things got any more dangerous. 24-14 on the shot board, 3-1 Colorado advantage. Again, it was Vlad Tarasenko who just scored for the St. Louis Blues to get St. Louis on the board. 24-16 is the shot advantage. 2 goals for Nathan MacKinnon, 1 for Landeskog in the second period, and 1 for Vlad Tarasenko in the second period. Chance for Jordan Kyrou. And now MacKinnon on the draw. With 3:46 left in the second. Face-off won there cleanly as Josh Manson finds it. It gets it one down the ice. Is this going to be another icing? Yes, it is. So St. Louis will have another opportunity to do this one more time. A chance for an offensive zone draw, get some shots on, you never know. If they get within one more goal, considering at times how badly it feels like they've been outplayed, even though St. Louis hasn't given up a lot of shots, to their credit, it's one of those situations where the utter brilliance of Nathan MacKinnon has really shined. It's 18 faceoff wins to 15 in favor of the Avs and MacKinnon. And chance here one more time. Can't win it though. Leddy, Parayko, as this spun around the kick plate. This goes back to Parayko. Parayko holding, leaves for Leddy. Leddy into the screen, stopped there by the goal stick of Darcy Kemper. Leddy waiting in toward that blue line side. Pass gets intercepted. Given away. Tried to pass it out in front. And that could have been Bozak and everyone else out there with a chance for it, and it was just missed. Leddy picks it up now and toward the faceoff dot. Left faceoff dot finds his defensive partner in Colton Parayko. Parayko now on the right side, still holding. Down to 3 minutes left to go in the second. Finds Leddy one more time. Gets across the red line and dumps this one in off the kick plate. Trying to find a chance there for Saad, and this one goes back down the defensive side of things. Tipped away there nicely by Colton Parayko. Here's a chance for Alexei Tropichenko. Tropichenko has it now. Nice sauce pass into the middle. Held there nicely. Chance for a one-timer there for Thomas after a nice sauce pass, and that goes wide. Picked up now by Colorado. Chance for Nico Mikkola. He holds this in toward the high end of the D side, toward the left side blue line. Buchnevich plays catch there with the offensive forward. Buchnevich lets it go, and it goes high. Down to 2:13 left to go in the second period. It's going to be a neutral zone draw. As Nazem Kadri still getting those boos. Tarasenko with the reverse hit. Manson got a piece and knocked Tarasenko on his wallet. And a chance there for an interception is Tarasenko and Braden Shen. They might have had something there, but Shen had to spin around. He just couldn't get that one clean. 2:12 left in the second stanza. Colorado up 3-1. 9 of the 10 playoff goals. 9 of the 10 playoff games for St. Louis is decided by 3+ goals. So it's been a lot of goal scoring between the series between the Minnesota Wild and now the Colorado Avalanche. And it seems to be the same way now with 4 more goals scored with 2 minutes left to go in the second period. Saad can't get past the rest of Colorado, and it's going to be a hybrid icing. O'Reilly tried to join in to negate it, but he couldn't do it. So now we're down to 1:57 left. Again, Colorado is attacking left to right in this period as it's just about to end. With 1:57, they got an offensive zone draw. St. Louis right to left. Colorado in the cerulean and maroon, and St. Louis in the blue-yellow piping with the white in the back. Landeskog and O'Reilly. O'Reilly wins this one clean for St. Louis. Usually very, very good. A good 200-foot game for the captain, Ryan O'Reilly. The playoffs is where he usually shines. And again, this is a very difficult matchup. Kel McCarr with an assist in 3 straight games. Hit there by Falk as it's pinned across with Nico Scandella. So it's Scandella and Falk as the defensive pairings right now. Ryan O'Reilly will chip this one down the ice. As this finds Kel McCarr, tries to bank this off the kick plate. And St. Louis defense will get to this one first. This is Nico Mikkola now. He's waiting in toward the right wing side. I don't know if Greg Berube's putting another defenseman in that wing, but he's all the way in behind the cage now. Of Darcy Kemper. Mikkola lost it. It's done to 1:15. He gloves it down, though. He gets this one across the blue line, where this finds Eric Johnson. Eric Johnson, Barbashev trying to hold this in with a glove, and it can't get across the blue line. Now this finds Vlad Tarasenko. Colton Parayko now, the defensive partner, waiting in on the right face-up dot. He gets it from Vlad. And now Parayko goes down to even Barbashev on the left wing. He gets this one down the ice where this finds Bowen Byram. And this goes up and out of play. 47 seconds left to go in the second period. I'm going to relay this here before we end the second period. If the St. Louis Blues were down 3-0, it's 3-1 now. But if they were down 3-0, the third period would be a time to press early. I'm not necessarily sure whether or not that's going to be the case now. You would think if you're down 2, if it stays the same scoreline going into the third with 10 minutes left, that's when St. Louis will begin to press. But there's still so much time to run their game plan. The main thing for them is to get more shots and challenge Darcy Kemper, because there hasn't been too much of that here for St. Louis. The Colorado defense has been excellent. Parayko Rodnan trying to get this one loose there with Nazem Kadri. This goes back in behind the cage of Kemper where this is Makar. Makar flips this one down. He tried to find Nichushkin, and it went just wide. Pavel Buchnevich fighting into the screen there of Manson. And Makar gets this one off the boards. Nicoletti has to go all the way back and chase with under 15 seconds left to go in the second period. Dumped in across the red line. Manson gets this one to Nazem Kadri. Kadri holding off the backhand, gets across the red line. Nice open wing chance here for Nichushkin around the cage. And they're going to run out of time as Nichushkin. 3-1 after 2. Tarasenko scored for the St. Louis Blues, but Gabe Landeskog had an answer in the second early. He made it 3-0. Tarasenko made it 3-1. And that's where we're at right now after 2. Colorado trying to finish this off in the third and away to the Edmonton Oilers with the Calgary Flames. I'm going to have that call for you tomorrow. When we come back, we're going to have the third period call. Colorado up 3-1, looking to close out the series.
Welcome to the Subway Eat Fresh Refresh. Locals on the other side, Mark. With new menu items like Maplewood smoked bacon and ham and smashed avocado and turkey. Is that lettuce? Subway Eat Fresh Refresh. Okay, guys?
Any car can take you, but mine is so much more. It keeps me connected to the things I like, heading in the right direction, and looking good. When the unexpected happens, it helps protect me. That's why it's more than just a car to me. The Elantra. Stay connected and protected.
Let's get you clean before Stretch comes back. Quick. Look at yourself. Oh, I got you, buddy. If you can, be sure. Switch to Time Box. Marvel Studios, Doctor Strange, and Multiverse Madness, so many theaters.
At CBC Windsor, we are your source for the latest information. Streets are everywhere, and here, online, radio, TV, we have original stories that you won't find anywhere else. In the city and the county, we are your source for what's happening now, the latest news. Downtown is going up.
Be a part of the conversation.
CBC Windsor is in your community asking the tough questions that you want answered. That's really electric.
Stanley Cup playoffs. Both teams held serve at home. Will the Canes surge back ahead? And the Oilers survived the scare.
Whoa, that went all the way from like center ice.
A pair of game fives. Rangers, Canes, Oilers, Flames. With Hockey Central on Sportsnet.
We're back. Tarasenko, a huge goal to give St. Louis a chance. 3-1 Colorado here after 40 minutes with Kevin Bieksa, Anthony Stewart, and Elliot Friedman and Houston Control. You've lost all
I'll be right back.
Matt, go ahead. Tell them to speed it up, slow it down, anything you want to tell them. Look, a couple things. Rick Wamsley on TV. Rick Wamsley, happy birthday. Rick Natras, happy birthday. I always remember Cliff Fletcher when he acquired Wamsley. He said, we have the perfect backup to Mike Vernon. He will win any game if we need it. He's a great guy in the room, and they won the Stanley Cup, and he thought that was a real key as a DL throw. They both have that St. Louis Calgary connection, as Cliff did, and Carolyn Willett does a lot of work for us here at Sportsnet. Happy birthday to you, too. Okay, Anthony, we just saw the Tarasenko goal, but why don't you walk us through what that meant?
Yeah, I said the St. Louis Blues are going to need 30-plus shots. They're two-thirds of the lead there, too. But what they did in the second period, they weren't doing in the first, was they're just putting pucks on net, and they're doing a lot of one-and-done plays. But what's good about this play here is that they're starting to get traffic. A lot of those shots in the first period, there was no traffic. Look at these layers here: shot, rebound, loose puck, And look at the layers here. Kemper, if he can see it, he's going to stop it with his top. He's fighting for second and third opportunities here too, so it's a good look. So the St. Louis Blues now, I think they're going to need probably 15 plus shots in the period, but a little bit more quality than Tarasenko's there.
Anthony, they're going to have to gamble. That is so dangerous against this Colorado team that they're going to have no choice. They're going to have to gamble.
Yeah, they're going to have to gamble. I agree. Cogliano, though. Let's go to him, right? There's one of these guys in your team where you have all your top-end guys, putting the puck in the net. Well, take some guys to keep it out of the net. And penalty kill is a big part of that. St. Louis's power play was 4 for 8 in the series. And the thing about Cogliano, he knows his body. When he comes out from the start of the period, it's just one little loop and then onto the bench because he saves his legs. When he's on the ice, he's working the whole time. There's not a whole lot of glide into his game. And you'll see it on the penalty kill. There's just a little thing going on. We've seen all the idiosyncrasies of Corey Perry's. It causes much the same. There's got a lot going on, but it all prepares him. So this is on the icing on the penalty kill, and he's going to get up ice as F1. And as you can see, he's going to take some ice and he's going to set up for this drop pass. He knows it's coming, so he's going to attack Falk. Then he's going to stop on it, and then he's going to attack this. And this is what you want your forwards doing, Stewie, in the PK. You want them attacking. You want your D to sit back and wait for these pucks. Again, attacking, moving. This is 20 seconds off. Nikushin comes on. Great change. Now Nikushin's going to attack the puck. And then watch this. Turnover, pucks down the ice. That's how you penalty kill. That's how you work on the penalty kill. And then here you're going to see Cox, big sacrifice, blocking shots. He's got 3 block shots in the game, leads all forwards. Getting it down the PK. Disagree?
No. That is a great back. That is great.
Dan Murphy, top that.
Ron, thank you. Andrew, you knew they weren't just going to fade away down through nothing. There's still a lot of heart and fight in that Blues dressing room, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's obviously their championship team. They've been in a lot of tough scenarios and they've won. So obviously we expect their best this period. They started getting going in the second. We gotta get back to our game and do what we're doing in the first 2 periods.
Yeah, you want to continue to do the things that got you the 3-1 lead, but is there any change of philosophy with trying to defend a 2-goal lead with a period to go?
No, I think we've been aggressive all series. I think we've been a team that's been forechecking. We've been a team that's wanted to possess and playing to their team's end, and really that's the best way to defend. We have opportunities to get the puck out. You have to, and we have to be strong in your end. You do, but the best defense is putting them on their toes.
Is your time good one?
You think so?
You're probably losing someone on that, right? It's going to take a crowbar to get that thing off.
I think his family has kept every single one of the playoff games that he's played, so that'll be a big one for him to get in between period and interval too.
What's your sense of the game? Obviously, at 3-1, Blues have a life. Gabe Landeskog and Nathan McKinnon breaking out tonight seems to go on.
Well, and the other thing too is the 3-0 goal. O'Reilly is so good on faceoffs. Whenever he loses one, it's news. And when it goes into your net, you're sitting here and thinking, boy, it's really not our night. And was it Ron? Was it you who thought that he grabbed the stick there?
But they were both bad.
Yeah, they were bad. But I mean, hey, if you're not trying, if you're not cheating, you're not trying, right? So, but this was the moment in the game where I really thought, they scored as Anthony showed, but I really was thinking, hey, 3-0 at that point in time, St. Louis is done. They got the goal. They've made it a bit more interesting. Such a tall order though to score 4 against Colorado the way they go.
The guy that snake bit for sure, and you could say that about all 3 of those guys. McCarty even hasn't produced a ton in terms of goals in this series, but it's crazy to see Mikko Rantanen struggle as he has, and yet he's doing a lot of little neat things, Anthony, you pointed out.
Yeah, he's one of the most skilled players, I think, in the league, too. As you mentioned, a little bit snake bit, but he's trying to make these little plays in front of the net. On the power play here, this pass comes across, and just notice how he chokes down on his stick there, too, because when you have a normal leverage grip on that stick, you can't really get it up. So while he's going down like this, I call it the Connor Garland, and what it does, it makes it a little bit easier to get up, too. And he's also directing traffic as well, telling guys what to do with the puck, but he's just been a presence all over the net, all around the net, being an option there, too. So it's just a matter of time, little plays like this before he starts producing for the Avalanche.
Empty net goal last game, thought might get him going, and there's 20 minutes to come. And finally, Josh Manson continues to be a real star.
It's funny, you just know McKinnon was on from the start. You knew Rantanen was on from the start. But another guy like Manson, you got guys that can put the puck in there. Who's keeping it out? Well, Josh Manson's another one of those guys. When they brought him in, they wanted him to be kind of a shutdown guy, a physical guy, and do all the little things, right? Not necessarily on the score sheet, but the shot blocks, the battles with guys, making life hard for Ryan O'Reilly so he can't just skate around with the guy. He's a big physical guy. He's with the puck, he's going to make usually the first pass. It's not going to be looking guys off like killing the car. It's going to be first option for him, but he's been good for them.
I always wonder, guys, what's it like in intermission when you're 1 period away and know if you don't do something big here, your season's over.
Well, again, I've been on the opposite side of the coin there, where sometimes it gets too hard for some players. So I know there's a lot of guys that want it, but for some guys, it's like it's going to be too tough of a hill to climb against a strong arm.
There's desperation, but like you feel it. It starts to creep in your mind a little bit when you're, especially if you're down 2 goals. If you're tied, maybe not. You're like, let's just stick to the process. But you're down and you're playing against a really good offensive team. You're right, Al. You're going to have to open it up now. It's definitely on their minds. It's going to be their last game.
Hey, Matt, if you asked Taylor Scholl to go back on the goal by Tarasenko, way back in the shift, Tarasenko, it's Nichushkin who loses a stick. He makes one reaching, and if you watch Nichushkin, he's really good defensively, but he's got the reach like Colton Parayko. He's always reaching for things, and eventually he reaches and his feet goes right through his blade.
Move your feet, Nichushkin, right?
He loses it, that's right. And it's just something to watch because he's been cast like they don't have Andre Burakovsky in the lineup. They've gone with Mueller, the speed and talent.
Yeah.
So has it happened yet?
Yeah, well, he's reaching. Or reach. Sure do. If you're not reaching, you're not trying, huh?
It's this isn't the one that I'm thinking of. Here it is. There, it's one reach, and here's where he loses his stick. So, and then what happens is he carries on, tries to be a part of it, tries to haul a man down. He'll end up in front of Kemper and screens it.
I think this may be the end of the shift as well, too, right? When you're a little tired, that's when you get to reaching, too, and you just get knocked off the puck.
And you're seeing that. Colorado having trouble with their altitude. Okay, 3-1, 3-2. Hockey NHL.
NHLShop.ca, the official online store of the NHL and Canada's largest selection of authentic NHL fan gear. Shop now and get today's special offer.
Summer drink days are on at McDonald's McCafe. Try the new peach passion fruit smoothie made with real fruit puree, or a rich, smooth, delicious iced coffee. Enjoy a small McCafe iced coffee for $1 plus tax, or a medium smoothie for $2 plus tax.
So how was it? Almost no violence.
And very little blood.
Oh my god, I'm going to be sick. Quick, bring me a bomb. No, nothing matches my outfit.
There are no limits to how high you can go, how far.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Jeep No Limits salesman. Get into a Jeep Wrangler and choose from our extensive inventory. Or Jeep Grand Cherokee, for us 2.99% price to 96 plus up to $2,000 in loyalty cash for select owners. The Jeep No Limits, where adventure has no limits.
We can
Transfer limits. Who was out on the stock again?
up in this window here a little bit until
Then I
get
can
used
jump
to
on
running.
it.
Maybe a swoop.
I like sweet. Start trading for free. This entire country is dedicated to the singular goal of survival. The new variant is complicating what was to be a return to normal.
Iceland is to be seen as a place to extract carbon from the air.
People, of course, have been sheltering down here. Thousands of refugees.
So as we let's do this real quick. So as we waiting for this second intermission to finish, let me go back into the next upcoming games here. Pull this up on the ESPN box score. If this will allow me to do so.
Hello, I'm Andrew Chang.
I'll open this up.
Hockey in just a moment, but first, a look at what we're working on tonight for the night. There was no meaningful forewarning of this crime. One day after the second.
Okay, so tomorrow on ESPN we have a pair of games. Let me just get this all together here. I'll put this on the other tab. So it is the New York Rangers and the Carolina Hurricanes, and then Edmonton and Calgary. I'm going to have a late game for you at 9:30 as well. Whether or not it's going to be with Cooper Hopkins, we'll try to figure that one out. I'll put that on Instagram. Make sure you let him know about it just to see if he wants to do that. I know it's his team that's down 3-1, so it remains to be seen whether or not he's actually going to do it here. So for New York and Carolina, look at it like this. We covered the early game. I think it was game 3 in that series when New York went up 2-1. And so Sturkin played excellent there. But you're kind of looking at it in the sense of everything has held serve in that series for as much as you would expect. Carolina is still now, as it stands, 0 for 5 on the road, and they are 7-0 at home. And nothing has really changed. And if this continues to go so, and I laughed at this at the beginning of it, but it's the truth, Carolina might be able to do this again in 7. That's the way this situation is looking up. Again, for Freddie Anderson, we're not really sure whether or not we know he's going to be out for the rest of the second round. We don't know when he's actually going to come back here. That could kind of turn things around in favor of Carolina as far as maybe kind of getting rid of that 0 for 5 moniker here on the road so far. They need to. They need to on that side. Really, you're only going to have 3 series left if this scoreline holds the same result, and maybe even 2 after tomorrow. It's just going to be New York and Carolina. So we'll see what ends up happening here, because Tampa is finished, so they're waiting for New York, Carolina to finish. And then on the other side, Colorado will be finishing. They're going to be waiting for Edmonton and Calgary in the Western Conference Final. So Eastern Conference Final is already set here for the Tampa Bay Lightning after they squashed the Florida Panthers. And look, we'll make it sound like this. I'll put an early note in here as well. So if you watch the guy on YouTube, his name is Urinating Tree. He's got one of the best takes there. I know he does a lot of football stuff, but when he does hockey things, it's really, really good on the sense of it. Florida was one of those teams with the President's Trophy, lots of goals. They got Ben Sherratt, Claude Giroux, tried to add everything else into it. So I didn't know this, but the Florida Panthers do not have any first-round picks until 2025. So they've salvaged essentially everything for just a series playoff win. Playing against Tampa Bay would be very, very difficult, and it proved to be so as they got swept. Again, if the situation was different for the Toronto Maple Leafs, who took them to 7, and everybody laughed at them, they lost a game at home when they had a 3-2 series lead. At least they went to 7. Florida got swept. That Battle of Florida was not really a battle. And it's one of those situations where look at Tampa Bay, and everybody was wondering, again, whether New York or Carolina will figure that one out. Again, if it holds the way it usually does, it'll be Carolina and Tampa. But you really can't argue at this point. Tampa Bay, out of the 4 teams that'll be left, let's say it is Carolina, let's say it is Edmonton, let's say it's Edmonton and Colorado. So between Tampa Bay, Carolina, Edmonton, and Colorado, with the 4 teams left, if that happens to be the case, who are you taking? It'd be very difficult to not take Tampa Bay to be one of those to get that back-to-back-to-back. That hasn't happened since the New York Islanders in the 1980s. And I mean that wholeheartedly. It was one of those situations maybe going in, you're wondering, does Tampa have enough? Is all those playoff runs and everything else going to take their toll? We didn't know Steven Stamkos would have a career high in points. We didn't know all these other situations would work out that way, but Andrew Vasilevsky's found his game. He's been a flat-out carry, and because of his carry and because of the offensive production that Tampa Bay has already had, they're in a good spot. But what are your thoughts? Leave them in the comments section below. We're going to get set here for the official call. It is 3-1 Colorado. Vladimir Tarasenko was the latest goal scorer here for St. Louis. And in order for St. Louis to be able to continue on, they have to find a way to win this game, down 2, and find their way against Colorado, who's looking for a date most likely with the Edmonton Oilers, although the Calgary Flames will have something to say about that tomorrow at Scotiabank. They can get that done. So we're getting set with the official call right now. This is Nathan McKinnon and Ryan O'Reilly. David Perron is also out there as well here for St. Louis. They're trying to get everything squared away. They are down 3-1 in the series. They're down 3-1 in this game. Nathan McKinnon scored twice. Gabriel Landeskog scored in the second period. And Vlad Tarasenko with the only Blues goal. That was in the second period late. So McKinnon and O'Reilly getting set for the draw. And Colorado wins it clean. They're going to be attacking right to left in this third period. It's rattled around the kick play now, picked up by Landeskog, stolen, and it was a good active stick there by Letty to knock that one away. David Perron now has this in toward the left side red line. He gets us in there deeper here. This is a spin-off and hold for Shen. Shen trying to keep this alive on the blue line side as St. Louis can catapult this thing in on the goal cage of Darcy Kemper. Kicked at by Nazem Kadri and Devin Tays. This is stuck in toward the left side boards with Landeskog and Arturi Lehkonen. Lehkonen gets knocked down pretty hard there by Bertuzzo. Bertuzzo tries to keep this back in toward the blue line side. And Saad can't find it. This gets stolen. Tarasenko couldn't find it. He lets it go, and now it's glove saved by Kemper. So if about 5 seconds before that, if Tarasenko would have found it off the interim and shot the wrist shot, maybe it could have been a 2-3 game, but a nice steal nonetheless. By Colton Parayko, Tarasenko, some active sticks in there as well to try to pry this puck loose and get things going. And St. Louis early in this third period has looked pretty good with a couple of steals. And this is one of those situations, as I've said, if it was a 3-goal deficit, maybe you'd be pressing a little more at the now at the start of the third rather than a 2-goal deficit. Everybody press more in the 10-minute mark, as this is immediate icing against Colorado. So Colorado has not come out of this third period sharp, but again, it's only a minute 3 in. They got a 3-1 lead, courtesy of 2 by Nathan McKinnon and 1 by Gabriel Landeskog, the captain. But still, St. Louis needs to be able to strike right now. Pavel Buchnevich getting a look. There's a chance here for Robert Thomas. He wins it clean, but the wind is too hard, and it goes all the way back into the defensive end, where this finds Nick Leddy. So Nick Leddy is out there with Falk right now. Nick Leddy behind the goal cage of Ville Husso. Going to leave this for his right-wing partner with Robert Thomas. Buchnevich now starts to play this ahead of Robert Thomas, but it goes up and out of play. So it's going to be a neutral zone draw with 18:38 left to go in the third period. John Otter with you from Denver, Colorado, Ball Arena. It's a 3-1 series lead for the Avalanche, a 3-1 score line here in Game 5. 24 shots to 19 in favor of the Avalanche. They're up 3-1, and they're looking to close this series out. And they're waiting the winner of the Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames, and that could happen as soon as tomorrow, because I'll have another potential elimination game for you at 9:30 Eastern. I'll be on air about 9:45 Eastern, usually when the games will start. With or without Cooper Hopkins, if he's going to be available on that call, I'm going to have that game in there. But he did tell me he might have to try to learn some other roster names, so meaning he might try to work some other games with me as this goes along. And that'll be good on his part. Picked up by Nicholas Aubé-Kubel. Aubé-Kubel lost, so you try to find it for Comfort. And now St. Louis and Justin Falk will try to toe drag this one deeper into the zone. This goes back to St. Louis, back in their own end as Colton Parayko holds, gets a chance there for Shen. They play crisscross. Scandella lets his shot go, and it goes up and on the plate. 17:50 left to go in the third period. Again, St. Louis, they need to be able to find a way to tie this game before this third period ends. They're down 2. It's 3-1. If they don't, their dreams will end in the semifinal against the Colorado Avalanche. They've been the powerhouse of the Western Conference, and the only reason they don't have a second consecutive President's Trophy was because the Florida Panthers were going out of their way to really do that. The last conference finals appearance, and this one pains me, 2002 against the Detroit Red Wings, but 2002 was when Red Wings last, another one of those won the cup. So those are back when those two teams were still going at it. You don't really see that rivalry anymore now, especially in the opposite conferences. It was 2002, 2008 was the last one for the Red Wings. Chance there for Robert Bertuzzo. Bertuzzo, he got held around the neck area. Did one of the Colorado players, and Logan O'Connor, no call there. Held for Barbashev. Barbashev with Tarasenko trying to keep this alive. And this goes up and on a play again. So it's going to stay a neutral zone draw. 17:15 left to go in the third period of this contest. It was Vlad Tarasenko that scored toward the end of the second period, which was your latest goal of this contest. Again, Colorado still feeling pretty good about where they're at. The other game that's on tap for a conference final in the Eastern Conference, that one's at 2-2. It is Boston and Miami. 52-51 is your score. Celtics with a 1-point lead at FTX. The Heat try to go up 3-2 at home, and the Celtics have other ideas. Spun around by Pareko. Picked back up Bertuzzo, trying to keep this one alive as well. Falk also pinching in, so 3 defensemen here out there for Greg Berube's squad. Interesting look at that. Falk with an opportunity. This blocked the host of Avalanche defenders, McKinnon and Landeskog. Landeskog now trying to chase this thing. McKinnon trying to keep this alive toward the red line, and now stolen by St. Louis and restarted one more time as Pareko plays this one across. I think Leddy got bounced off that as well. That was Ryan O'Reilly. Spun around now by Burakovsky. Ryan O'Reilly tried to get that steal, and this one goes down as Colorado can get this in deeper where this finds Nico Scandella. So Scandella now tried to play this across the red line. This goes in between the kick play where this is a chance here for Perron. He's fighting off Johnson, and now Darren Helm on the third line. Here's the chance with Andrew Cogliano. Cogliano's going to take his break. Helm is going to one that's going to go in there. He gets hit hard by himself as he goes in there and tries to dislodge the puck. Eric Johnson. Here's a chance now for St. Louis. As it bounced off in front, saved by a Perron attempt that went off the pad of Kemper. Now Alex Newhook. Alex Newhook gets hit hard there by Pareko. Newhook keeps it alive toward the right faceoff dot. Ball on Byram now from Johnson. Byram, nice skate through. Now he's in behind the goal cage. He spins back toward the left faceoff dot. Chance it for Comfort. Johnson lets it go through the screen. It goes just wide. Byram trying to pick this up one more time, and he does. Byram toward the left faceoff dot one more time. Still holding. Trying to find Newhook. Left down by Byram. Trying to get saved there by Eric Johnson. And now Miller gets this one deep, and he finds Leddy. Miller might be taking his change. Leddy needs some help on the defensive side, and he gets it there. And Jordan Kyrou. Kyrou holding him toward the right faceoff dot. He gets punished there by Devin Tays. Kyrou still keeps us alive. Now he gets upended by Tays. Maybe this stick got underneath Kyrou. Shen trying to do some work there with JT Comper. 15 minutes left to go in the third period. Colorado still up 3-1. In the defensive zone are the Avalanche, and now they finally get this one down the ice as it's cleared, and it's going to be a hybrid icing. So the face-off is going to go against the Avalanche. And St. Louis trying to get some things going. I've started to notice as the minutes have ticked away, as now we're down to 14:53 left to go in the third period as Colorado's still up 3-1. They're up 3-1 in the series as well. Devin Tays might have got a stick up in front, but no call there. 33 hits to 21. What I'm saying is I've started to notice that St. Louis is picking up that intensity a little bit. So maybe that 10-minute mark is getting closer to that 14:53 mark where they're trying to up that intensity and look for offense and creating some physicality and some chances. Offside touch, so it's going to be a neutral zone draw here for St. Louis and Colorado. 14:45 left to go in the third period. Glad you can join me here for this contest at Ball Arena. John Otter with you from Denver, Colorado. Colorado Avalanche looking to close this out and go to the Western Conference Finals. They haven't done so since 2002 when they last played the Red Wings. That was according to a Sportsnet stat. It's a long time ago for me. Thinking about a chance for my team with the Detroit Red Wings having a chance to win anything. Pavel Buchnevich and Mikko Rodney going to take the draw. Buchnevich wins this one clean. This goes down around the red line, though, where this will go next to Ville Husso, but Colton Pareko will look in behind the goal cage and get some things set up. They got a lot of stand with Naz signs there for Colorado. Buchnevich trying to toe drag in between two skaters, trying to play it across an open empty slot. And now Colorado, it's 1-on-3. Great move there. That might be a call, but it's not. Thought there was a hook up into the face of one of the Colorado players. I'm not sure that was Kadri. I think that was Kadri, actually, as he's coming off the ice. Chance here for Leddy. Leddy now from Falk. We'll get this set back up. Still held, and now Falk has it one more time as this gets across the red line and then glove down. Picked back up by the Avalanche, and now St. Louis has it, trying to get across the red line one more time with Ryan O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly broke all the way down, but this was a chance for Gabriel Landeskog fighting off Leddy nicely there, holding it. 2-on-1 against him. He still plays this through to Arturi Lehkonen. Landeskog still doing yeoman's work, Colorado trying to find this thing. Stole it there. This is a chance for Nathan McKinnon. Tried to play it there for Arturi. Lehkonen lets the shot go. And it goes just wide. Lehkonen picks this one back up. Kel McCarr. Kel McCarr now finds McKinnon. McKinnon, right face-off dot, spinning around the net. Still holding. Pass out in front. Johnson lets the shot go. It's stopped there by Ville Husso. Picked up by Colorado as they keep this hemmed in. McCarr has this in toward the left face-off dot, trying to play this one ahead. Nathan McKinnon. And this is a chance for Landeskog as he's doing some work. Now David Perron gets us across the red line. He's going to like to take his change. David Perron has been essentially shut down here in Game 5 by Colorado, and that is by design. He's been one of the best players on the St. Louis Blues. Now Darren Helm tried to trickle it through to Logan O'Connor, and it was held there by Ville Husso. We get a timeout. 12:59 left to go in the third period. Colorado getting close to being halfway home in the third period. They're up 3-1 with 12:39 remaining and a 3-1 series lead. They're trying to get their date to the Western Conference Finals.
There's no better place to bet the NHL than on FanDuel Sportsbook. It's easy to find your bet and lock it in just a few simple taps. And on FanDuel, the action doesn't stop when the puck drops. With in-game betting, you can bet live games with updated odds right through the final over. And when you're ready to cash out, you can fish your winnings in as little as 2 hours. FanDuel is now live on Ontario. Download FanDuel Sportsbook today and every moment more.
Check out Ethan Ripley's stick, particle accelerator technology. Want to see real breakthrough? I just seen even more, but with Sun's own auto insurance. Totally online in only minutes. Take a moment, save a month, visit Sun.ca.
Every night is a new journey. Let the music guide your way. I'm Dario Williams. Follow me into the night on After Dark. Weeknights starting at 9 on CBC News and on the CBC Listen app.
We're at New River Beach in New Brunswick. We're 10 of the world's best sand sculpting teams. Updates it off and got the beach back. Uh-oh, a Maestro Press Class. Watch as we race against the tide.
The Colorado Studios are closing anytime soon, but you could argue the window may never be more wide open than it is right now.
So look on the Sportsnet side, 4.9 for Andre Burakovsky, 4.5 million for Kadri, 3.5 for Kemper, 2.5 for Nichushkin, and $2 million for Josh Manson. All upcoming free agents here for Joe Sakic. So he's going to have his hands full in the offseason. But again, it seems like the window, as my partner elegantly said from a few days ago, you could experience that opening, and it's there right now for the Avalanches. If they win this one, they got 8 more wins to a Stanley Cup. Kept him behind the zone, slap shot there, stopped by Nichushkin from Ville Husso. And now on the other side, after the Husso save, this is picked up by Ryan O'Reilly. The captain tries to get this one across the red line as he finds Devin Tays instead. As we're down to 12 minutes left to go in the third period. Colorado up 3-1. Still a long way to go in this contest, but St. Louis, no matter the way you look at it, they need 2 goals by the end of this period or it's all over for their season. Devin Tays and Manson getting munched there into the boards. And this is Nazem Kadri trying to play out to an open lane. There's a broken stick there. Chance there for a Nathan McKinnon pass and a great save there from a Kadri look as well. That was stopped in the slot by Ville Husso from Nichushkin. Pick back up. Manson's going to let it go toward the high slot, and Husso got that one too. 11:28 left to go in the third period. John Andre with you from Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. Every second that ticks away here, Colorado is getting closer with a 3-1 series lead, trying to make some things happen. And Nazem Kadri, my goodness, I mean, when I think about all the stuff that he's done, especially with the Toronto Maple Leafs and now with the Colorado Avalanche, a career year, he's always been a great two-way forward. But you put him on a team like this, it's just surrounded with talent, and it just allows other people to shine. And it's great artistry and architect work by the general manager, Joe Sakic, who's a Hall of Fame player in his own right, who is pretty much good on all facets of hockey. And hopefully Steve Eisman can try to do some of that stuff with the Red Wings as well for my sake. But in the sense of Colorado and having a team that's built around them, they're truly, truly special. It's just whether or not, for me, whether or not Darcy Kemper can continue to hold down. But I mean, if it's one of those situations where I've said this, if Colorado can keep Darcy Kemper between 25 to 27 saves, is that 20 or 19 right now out of 20 shots at the 10:55 mark? That's all they really need. You don't need him to be a superstar. Just be serviceable. Everybody's just got to do their job because this team is so good. So McKinnon takes down Perron. It's still in the defensive zone. Bertuzzo has it now for St. Louis. Spun around the goal cage with Kemper. Bertuzzo trying to be the first one on there, but it's intercepted by Gabriel Landeskog and then turned over. Ryan O'Reilly in through the screen. It's loose. Picked up by Landeskog. Landeskog finds it and backhands this one, flutters it out of the zone, where there's going to be another icing against the Avalanche, but they don't care about that at this point. They just needed to clear the pressure that was in front of Darcy Kemper's goal crease. So this was Nathan McKinnon. He knocked down David Perron. He kept this thing alive. He tried to get it out of the zone, then to get back on the defensive check. As St. Louis, Ryan O'Reilly tried to throw it out in front. Saad's attempt went just wide of Kemper, and there was another chance to go off to the races. So Kemper's allowed just 2 goals or less in 5 to 7 starts. And again, it's excellent Colorado defense. Again, Darcy Kemper's been excellent. Everything has worked right now for the Colorado Avalanche in terms of trying to get 8 wins in the first 16 of them. This goes back into Nick Leddy, and now this finds Pavel Buchnevich. He's trying to cross the blue line, and now the red one. Buchnevich going through a 1-on-3 entry. Scores! A chance for Pavel Buchnevich. I believe he found Robert Thomas. He made it a 3-2 game. What an entry there for Buchnevich. He skated in between 3 players. Robert Thomas got the gift of a lifetime there as Pavel Buchnevich went from blue line to blue line, toe drag, drop pass into Thomas, one-timer, beat Kemper clean. What a gorgeous entry there by Pavel Buchnevich. Makes it 3-2. St. Louis with 2 unanswered goals, and they're right at the mark they need to be at the 10:03 mark. We're about halfway through the third period right now. John out here with you. St. Louis has made it a 3-2 game. They don't want to go home just yet. They need to finish this one off before they can actually get back to Enterprise. Intercepted there by Kadri, holding off the toe drag. Good defense there by Colton Parayko to knock that one loose. Buchnevich got his pass blocked and then dumped inside from Rantanen and went off of Ville Husso. The first goal of the playoffs here for Robert Thomas, assisted by Buchnevich and Leddy. Let's go Avs chance going on right now. Ball Arena. Nicholas Aubé-Kubel lost it. Third line's out there right now. Logan O'Connor has it now, plays it out in front, try to get it to Darren Helm. And St. Louis gets this one down. 9-10 left to go in the third. And I think they might be adding some more extra seconds here as the score clock was trying to get expertly bled off by one of the Colorado homies there. 9:13 left to go in the third, though. We'll sort it back when we get back. 3-2 Colorado. The lead has been cut to 1.
Canadian Angus beef, raised without added hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. More than wearing the Canadian touch for. Try the new Angus barbecue bacon ringer melt, only at Harvey's.
Meet Gary. Hi. For years, Gary's felt an overwhelming desire to be a pro goalie. Let's see how that's going. Gary, you can play to win with BetRivers.ca, featuring award-winning customer service and the excitement of same-game parlays, like taking the over, picking the winner, and player props. You can bet on the sports you love. Yeah. Nice save. BetRivers.ca. It's a whole game.
We're continuing to follow this extraordinary family as they take on new challenges and they take over a dilapidated farmhouse.
There's a massive hole in it.
I can't believe that was it. Oh, but
It's like time completely
when he stops.
What do we do to make a change?
The story needs to be told. We have to tell the story.
His first playoff goal this season, first in 20 playoff games.
So things have kind of been turned on their head here. St. Louis, they've just scored. It was a gorgeous blue line to blue line skate from Pavel Buchnevich, who found Robert Thomas into the slot for a slapper, made it a 3-2 game. Colorado's lead, which was once 3, has been cut down to 1 with 8:55 left in the third period. It is in the defensive zone of Colorado. Newhook couldn't get it out, and Letty can play this one and chip it across the red line. This is Barbashev. Barbashev now toward the right face-off dot, trying to find Thomas. Buchnevich has it now, plays it here for Tarasenko, and the slot shot goes just wide. Tarasenko in behind the goal cage, trying to find Thomas. He does now, but Colorado can get this one down with Mikko Rotten and get it down the ice. The icing is waved off. Nick Letty doesn't like it, but 8:20 left to go in the third period. St. Louis has done their work at the time checkmark boxes that they've needed to get another one just before the 10-minute mark, and now we're sitting at 8:10 in the live action as Colorado touches up for a hybrid icing. So it's now 3-2. So as it stands, I want to get a correction there from the Tarasenko goal. They've added the assist to it. Again, none of these are finalized yet, but the 14:42 mark, Tarasenko had his 6th of the playoffs from Nick Letty and Braden Shen. And then Robert Thomas at the 9:57 mark from Letty and Buchnevich. Landeskog wins it clean, but St. Louis can find this one. It's a 3-on-2, so St. Louis is going to try to chip this one down the red line and try to go after it right now. Stolen there. St. Louis keep this at the blue line shine. Rich shot is held by Darcy Kemper. 7:58 left to go in the third period. St. Louis has made this interesting again. They've got to tie this up before the end of regulation, or their playoff hopes and everything else, their season is going to end. They've done a good job at the 14:42 mark with Tarasenko in the second, and now 9:57 in the third to get this within 3-2. We'll see if St. Louis can answer one more time, or whether or not Colorado is going to have their Western Conference final dreams realized for the first time since 2002. This is an excellent team on both sides. With St. Louis from winning the Cup from a few years ago, they don't want to go home just yet unless they can continue the series at Enterprise. Down to 7:50. Again, right to left of the Colorado Avalanche across your radio dial. St. Louis left to right. They've got it hemmed in the Colorado defensive zone. Shot gets bounced up in the air, and it's going to be a neutral zone draw. 7:37 left to go in the third period. Colorado in the cerulean and maroon, and St. Louis in the blue. They have the yellow piping with the white shirt in the middle. Excellent contest right now. Darcy Kemper has made 21 of 23 saves for a .913 save percentage. Ville Husso, 25 of 28 for an .893. Another offensive draw win there. Nick Letty gets this one back in behind the cage, trying to get directed around for Jordan Kyrou. Shen trying to keep this alive, and Falk will pressure this in deeper. Trying to find Jordan Kyrou was Falk off the pass. Goes back, right out in front. Buchnevich trying to center it, and could not be held there, I think, by David Perron, as he had a look at it, but he just couldn't skate the stick on the opportunity. Down to 7:05 left to go in the third period. John Ari with you from Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. Colorado up 3-1 in this series. They were once up 3-0 in this game. It is now 3-2. They are trying to wait to see who they're going to play in between the Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames. I'm going to have that call for you again tomorrow about 9:45 Eastern. Edmonton enjoying a 3-1 series lead in that one. Johnson has it now, tries to get this across the red line. St. Louis trying to be like hyenas on raw hamburger meat right now, trying to pressure Colorado as much as they can as this finds Bertuzzo. Now Bertuzzo is going to go ahead and take his change as this finds Colton Parayko. Let's go Avs chance, and the white towels waving. Picked up now by Colorado in their own end. Gabriel Landeskog will punch this off the kick plate as this goes across the red line. Devin Tays now trying to get this one across with Johnson. McKinnon hounded off the puck. Nice turnover there. Wrist shot goes high of Kemper. Picked back up by David Perron. Perron tried to center it off the front, almost went outside the outside of the post, and now goes in behind the cage where Perron can collect it. Perron trying to get this one now. Colton Parayko still waiting in toward the right face-off down as he had to pinch in. This is stolen there by the captain, Gabriel Landeskog for Colorado. He's going to chip and go ahead and take his change. 5:30 left to go in the third period. This is getting to be gut check time for St. Louis. They need one more goal to keep their season alive. A chance for Tropchenko. And he tried to power it through Kemper, but it got knocked aside by the goal stick. Colorado can't find it and get it out of their zone there. Jordan Kyrou keeps it alive. Cross pass, loose out in front. Where is it? It's behind the net now. Is it just eluded the glove there of Darcy Kemper? St. Louis trying to keep this thing alive. Buchnevich gets a pass out that's held across that blue line by Leddy. Shen trying to play this one off the kick plate as well. Picked back up, fought in through the screen. St. Louis still got it. Let it go again. And it got bounced there by the Maroon and Cerulean. Loose out front. They score! St. Louis ties the game at 3. They were down as much as 3-0. We have a brand new hockey game. 4:46 left to go. Justin Falk ties the game at 3. My goodness, what a pressure by Greg Perubi's squad. They never surrendered that blue line. They kept it alive between Kyrou, Shen, Falk with the shot. He let it go into the screen. It got bounced. Picked up again. Slap shot got blocked. The rebound put home. Tropchenko let it go. I think this might be Jordan Kyrou's goal. Maybe Falk's. Whoever got that rebound there. It looked like it got last touch between Kyrou and Falk. So Falk gets the game time goal. The St. Louis Blues were down as many as 3. It is now 3-3. Now it's in the zone again. Darcy Kemper, it's loose. And picked up by St. Louis. St. Louis buzzing. They've just scored 3 unanswered goals. 4:25 left to go in the third. And this is lost to Saad. He spins this one around. Justin Falk, his first to the playoffs at 15-14. If you've just joined me here in this contest, you've joined at a great time. St. Louis has scored 3 unanswered goals to make this a 3-3 game. Colorado trying to end this series right now at home before having to go to a game 6 at Enterprise. Ryan O'Reilly, first to it now. Let's go Avs chant at Ball Arena. Ryan O'Reilly plays this out toward an open blue line spot. Picked up now. Falk didn't shoot it as this goes in behind the cage of Kemper. St. Louis needs to race to get down to this one. Let's see who's got the speed. Nicolas Aubé-Kubel. The icing is waved off as he was turning on the Jets to get down there. 3:30 left to go in the third period. It's a 3-3 contest now. 3 unanswered goals by St. Louis. Again, Ville Husso, it's going to be his job in the pipes, as no Jordan Binnington is going to be left in this playoffs. He's done. Picked back up by Falk. Shen keeps it alive. This goes by Tropchenko. It's picked up now by St. Louis again. This is in the right side of them. They've kept hemmed into the Colorado defensive zone the entire time. They are pressuring the Avalanche. But again, it's only 3-3 with a 3-1 series lead. Nathan MacKinnon, he was excellent here in the first and second period. And then Nathan MacKinnon, toe drag, forehand, shot, scores! Nathan MacKinnon end-to-end wizardry. Take that, Connor McDavid. 4-3 Colorado. Well, the hats are flying at Ball Arena, and I can't believe what I just witnessed. Nathan MacKinnon with a highlight reel goal in behind his own end. St. Louis just tied it 3-3. Nathan McKinnon said, screw that. I'm taking this in behind my own end, starting in behind a broken stick toward the right face-off dot, working his way to the left wing red line, undresses Nick Leddy, and snipes a wrist shot past Bill Huso, number 29, with the sickest goal you'll ever hear and see. Nathan McKinnon with the hat trick makes it 4-3 Colorado as he toe drags and lifts it out of the air and just scores and undresses the entire St. Louis defense and Ville Huso to boot. My goodness, Nathan McKinnon, hats off to you. Wow, what a goal that was. My goodness, ladies and gentlemen, Nathan McKinnon, 2:46 left to go in the third. That is one of the sickest goals I've ever seen as he lifted it over Huso after he skated through the entire team. And the emotion there for Jared Bednar says it all. He just puts his head down there with a wry smile. And the captain, Landeskog, meets the assistant, Nathan McKinnon, with a gorgeous, gorgeous highlight reel goal at 2:46 left to go in the third. So after all the momentum was with the Blues, Joe Sakic, man, he's got a smile on his face now. I don't blame him on that point. The timeout, if you want to call it that, is just going to get to pick up with the cascade of hats that are still being thrown on the ice right now. It's going to take them probably several minutes to clean this all up as CBC shows this one more time. Right face-off dot in the own end, undressed Nick Leddy back all the way into the offensive zone and just snipes it. 2:46 left. Colorado now has the lead, 4-3, trying to finish off the St. Louis Blues. Come back. Let's finish off this game. What a goal that was. Well, if there is anyone in here on this side of things, guys, I really don't know what to say as far as any other wizardry, any other, I'm going to need a thesaurus with any other kind of words you want to throw out there in terms of that goal. That was absolutely highlight reel, and one of those that's probably backbreaking if you're on the other side of it. Again, let's get the official time left in this game. It's 2:46. So plenty of time for Greg Berube's squad and the St. Louis Blues to empty the net and get some things going. But all the talk, I want to just make this point. All the talk for Connor McDavid, and for good reason, don't get me wrong. But all the talk for Connor McDavid, when you see a goal like that from Nathan McKinnon, and hopefully my call did that a little bit of justice, going end to end in his own defensive end, getting across the right faceoff dot into the left side red line, into the left side faceoff dot, undressing Nick Leddy, and then scoring. That is something that only players you can count on one hand could even do. And Nathan McKinnon is one of those guys. If it wasn't for Connor McDavid in certain situations, again, Colorado fans know how good Nathan McKinnon is. So they know he is by far, at least at worst, I would say a top 3 player in this league. Well, he just showed you why with a superhuman effort like that. That is going to be played from end to end to end in the highlight reels over and over and over and over again. And I don't blame anyone who does so, because that is one of the sickest goals that you will ever see. And now finally, I believe all the hats have been cleaned up on the ice, but all the fans that have been jumping around in Denver, Colorado and Ball Arena, as they should, as Nathan McKinnon scored one of the best goals you'll ever see. So now let's get back into the official action. It's going to be point in time pretty soon where Greg Berube is going to have to pull that goalie. 2:46 left to go in the third. Nathan McKinnon has the hat trick. It is a 4-3 lead now for the Avalanche. It was Nathan McKinnon with his 6th, Bowen Byram with his 5th assist of the playoffs. Again, I am speechless. I mean, I've had a few minutes to catch my breath as far as the goal that you've seen. You'll see that on the replay. So Colorado trying to get to the conference finals for the first time since 2002 when they lost to the Detroit Red Wings. Again, they're not going to be thinking about that right now. They just want to get to that point. St. Louis had 3 unanswered goals since being down 3-0. It is now 4-3 with an end-to-end take by Nathan MacKinnon. The puck is now behind the goal cage of Nick Leddy and Colton and Billy Huso, Nick Leddy plays this down the ice. Now this is in the offensive zone. A chance for Vlad Tarasenko. St. Louis needs a goal. Falk plays this one for Parayko. Tarasenko's got it now. The net is empty here for Greg Berube's squad. The puck goes down the ice. It's going to be an icing against the Avalanche. $1:56 left to go in this contest. St. Louis needs a goal or their season is over. They're going to be awaiting the winner of the Edmonton Oilers and the Calgary Flames. Edmonton enjoying a 3-1 series lead. Greg Berube is going to call a timeout right now. So I'm going to stay with you. I'm going to have that call for you tomorrow with or without Cooper Hopkins. Again, hopefully he'll be able to call that game with me. I know it's kind of tough when your team is on the own end of being in the wrong situation of things. But that's the case right now. So I'm going to have that call for you tomorrow about 9:45 Eastern. You got the late game. And then Friday, Saturday, I got a few plans in there as well. So probably won't be back on the call until Sunday. So just 3 games this week. I apologize for any inconvenience. So trying to get these series elimination potential games in there right now. And I will give you a scoring update of anything else that's going on as we're waiting for this timeout. So as we sit right now, it is 80-60 Boston with a big time lead. They've kind of opened up a can here later on the Miami Heat, looking to take a 3-2 series lead and then go back to TD Garden to try to finish that one out and go to the NBA Finals. So that's big on the Boston Celtics side of things. Nathan MacKinnon back on the ice right now. Darcy Kemper also going to get back on the ice here. Darcy Kemper, he's been good. He hasn't had to be brilliant because this team has been so good all the way across the board for Colorado. Ryan O'Reilly, a perfect 13 for 13 on faceoffs tonight, kind of like me in NHL 12 with a 99 rating. Ryan O'Reilly's got to get this one right now, and he cannot. He's lost one. This is a chance for Colorado to preferably ice it and go to the Western Conference Final. And the Landeskog bid was stopped by Leddy. Now, Robert Thomas going to play this one and get it back. Thomas, St. Louis Blues desperate with 1:30 left to go in the third. Thomas, Buchnevich now in behind the cage. Vlad Tarasenko's open on the right wing. They try to jam at it, but Kemper, it didn't get to him yet. The Maroon and Cerulean have it right now. Colorado played out in front, and it almost got turned over there for an opportunity here for the Blues. It's hemmed inside the defensive end of the Avalanche. Nathan MacKinnon trying to find it. Parayko being worked over. This is at the blue line. Now the left faceoff. Now lets it go in between a screen. And St. Louis keeps this alive, but they're down to a minute left to go in this third. Falk, slap pass, playing in behind the cage of Darcy Kemper. Perron finds Buchnevich. Tarasenko lets it go, scores! St. Louis ties it at 4. Nathan MacKinnon had just scored to make it 4-3, and St. Louis has scored 4 goals in the third period. 56 seconds left, and they are not going away. It was a nice keep in there by Tarasenko. Thomas moved it around. Good work there by Buchnevich. Back to Tarasenko. And Thomas, who had just scored a couple goals before, his first of the playoffs. He hadn't scored a playoff goal in over 25 games, has 2. Tarasenko from the rebound. Thomas puts it in. And again, Joe Sakic, all he can do, the GM for the Avalanche, is just shake his head. It's not one of those situations where Colorado has to feel too scared about the situation, but it's a similar situation. You put to it like this: it was Thomas from Tarasenko and Buchnevich. You want to get this back to Enterprise Center on Friday night. Again, this is Wednesday. I'm losing track of my days here. And Friday night to try to go for a Game 6, and then who knows? You won that one at the beginning in Game 6, and Sunday will be at Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. So you never know what's going to happen here. I think the officials might want to check this thing, or that's what they're doing right now. I don't have a particular grasp as far as anything that would be illegal. There was no high sticks or anything else like that. But within the final minute, maybe just get things squared away. Maybe Greg Berube and let's say Jared Bednar, I should say, the Colorado coach, and you're trying to check for offsides or anything at this point. But here's the situation. If you try to challenge a goal and you get it wrong, the goal stands and there's a penalty put against you. So the puck, it was in the blue line side. It looks like it was kept in onside by Falk. So there was no challenge. I just want to take a secondary look at it. It was kept inside by Falk. So this goal stands. It's now 4-4. St. Louis has scored 4 goals in the third. They tried to buzz again there with Falk and Brandon Saad. This goes across the red line. Picked up a couple times. Ochoa Lekanen putting on a series of toe drags there. He gets hit hard. St. Louis trying to get this out of their defensive zone. They want overtime. They've done a hell of a job trying to force it. One of the Zebras falls down as we're down to 20 seconds left to go in the third. Kel McCarr has it now. He's got some speed. The defenseman weaving his way through the bowling pins. He gets it in toward the left faceoff dot, played in front. This is Nichushkin. Lets it go into the screen. Stopped there by Husso. Down to 5 seconds. It's loose out in front. Colorado, a couple whacks at it. We are headed to overtime. St. Louis has scored 4 in the third period. They've forced their way through. Game 5 is not done yet. The series is not done yet. St. Louis, they've been saying their last rites, and they've made it so. They've forced overtime. My goodness, we've had some highlight reel goals, and we'll wait to see. I'll be here with you as long as it takes. When we get back into the overtime, I'll be getting back into the action here. And again, with the overtime, get all your snack breaks and everything else out of the way now, because again, you only have that ice break at the beginning of the middle of the overtime period. We'll call overtime action in a little while. Be right back.
Introducing Tim's new loaded wraps. Each loaded wrap is packed with tasty grains, your choice of slow-cooked or crispy seasoned chicken, and our flavorful habanero or cilantro lime sauce. Deliciously satisfying. New Tim's loaded wraps. Try one today.
Hey Siri, send $50 to Liz for the drive-thru. Which RBC did your house grow it to? First possession score, let's go. Come on. We need a choice.
Why is this thing so right? Hey, dumb, move your bobblehead and get out of the way so my little friend here can root on his bet.
Listen, lady.
Oh, don't listen, lady me, you piece of get out of here.
And a little guy.
I'm actually not that short.
Okay. I'm not walking through this bright portal thing again. I get migraines.
How do you go for the best? To the ultimate? You choose the big, bold, ultimate taste of ultimate chicken sausages and ultimate chicken hot dogs. Choose ultimate. Only from Maple Lodge Farms.
You were something.
When it's time for less rain or more, how do you react? If you welcome change, meet Fair Square. With thousands in savings when you sell, cash back when you buy, and experienced real estate professionals on your side, they
back. Just want to mention the national coverage of the Canadian Citizen Study to help Afghan refugees delayed until after the game. You can watch it on CBC News Network, streaming now.
I just thought Colorado looked really nervous that period. I was really shocked about it. We were talking in the second intermission about what you're saying if you're St. Louis in there and you've got just possibly 20 minutes left in your season and how nervous and energetic it must be. I thought St. Louis looked like the team that was confident and Colorado looked like the team that was really nervous to close out the series.
Yeah, it's almost like the sins of the past are sort of coming back to haunt them. There's usually a team that's really on their toes. They're on their heels that full second half of that second period. So going into overtime, they can't play with any fear. They just got to do what works best, and that's playing the pace.
The thing about that, sorry, Kevin, because you're going to show the amazing shift by Falk, but Nathan scores what has to be one of the greatest goals in the history of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and you think they could all breathe a sigh of relief for all that we just talked about. The curse is over. Now they've got to face overtime.
Curse is not yet over.
Wow. So let's go. We'll work backwards. Let's go to the.
Yeah, so Falk had some huge plays there, especially towards the end. So we're going to show them, and it's not just the goal. Obviously, he's going to score the goal that made it 3-3, I believe. 4-4. Sorry, 4-4. No, it's a 3-3. Oh. He's in front of the net there, and he ties it 3-3. And this is what we're thinking. Okay, now they're starting to get some doubt setting into Colorado, and maybe they're going to come make this an overtime game and a close one. And he's around the net, so he makes a great play there. But there's a couple other great plays he makes. Right here, like he's right there. You can't really see it, but off the face-off, he actually pinches out Landeskog right at the red line. So Landeskog can't take the shot at the empty net. Keeps that puck in. That was close. They were looking at that. And then he makes that bypass down to the goal line as well. So, I mean, it doesn't end up on the score sheet for that one, but the one off the face-off is the big one because now McKinnon scores the big goal, the crowd's going crazy, and if you remember, the puck came, I don't know if we can rerun that, but the puck comes to McCarr on the inside, he gets that, he chips to Landeskog. Landeskog, and this is where we were talking, the debate was going on. Landeskog can take a shot at the empty net, right? But he's thinking in his head, I have to get to the red line before I can take that shot. And you'll see Falk come from across the ice, and he takes him right to the beam line, right to that center ice, to beat him there, and that's why Landeskog. You would take the shot, though, right?
Well, the thing is, like, I think we're seeing in the NHL a lot more now. Coaches just say shoot. Like, I don't care if you ice it. These players are such great shooters right now. You take the shot no matter where you.
Like, he could have shot that right there, but he wants to get centered before he makes that play, just in case. But look at the clock, 150. I would say, Elliot, I agree. Shoot that puck at 150. If it's like 40 seconds left, maybe, because a chip, we talk about this all the time. Cities will always talk about this. A chip maybe gets you 25 seconds. 25 seconds by the time they go back at it and it's back in the end. So if it's a little bit later in the period, what do you think, Steve?
Well, I'm team eye test on this play, and Landeskog is usually a guy that skates through that check, and he can usually chip it to himself. So I think it was a mistake he made, but I'm not taking that ice to consider. Riley's a beast in face-off circle, so that's a good point.
I also want to mention, some people were wondering, you saw Kemper's snap come undone. So some people were wondering if that play's supposed to be blown dead. The answer is no. If St. Louis has a scoring chance, you can't blow that dead. So it was the right call.
Correct. And sorry, I thought we were doing Falk the 4-4 and then going back to the 3-3, but he was great on both that you just showed. Let's get to the line change. That was a key moment as well.
Yeah, the line change. So this is something you noticed, Ron. But as you can see, when this face-off happens in the Colorado zone, and here's Kemper making sure he's anchored by his post right here, and it's a little bit foreshadowed right there. And as they win the draw here, they're going to change. And we don't know what's going on with Bender on the bench, but he has a matchup that he wants to get out. And the first couple guys that come out, you can see in the top left of your screen, they're not the right guys. So I don't know who pulls the trigger and says, no, you go instead. But there's only 4, and I know it's a 2-on-4, but there was just a little bit of confusion that neutral zone was just a little loose. And you can see the athlete that comes on the ice is going to take a couple steps, and he's going to turn around. And this is just not a good enough change, right? You need to get a better jump start on that change. There's still only 4 guys on the ice. It's a free entry and a bit of a broken player. Like, it's a 2-on-4 at the end of the day, but it's a little bit of a mix-up in that line change.
Yeah, I think Kemper's got to get that. Yes. Only 8 shots, I think, in that third period.
Okay, for me and you, Elliot, I think the Mario Lemieux on Bork in 91 Stanley Cup playoffs, and I liken it to Scott Niedermayer end-to-end. Do you have a goal? Anybody got a goal spring in mind when you see what McKinnon did here tonight? Playoffs?
Mario against Minnesota. Against Minnesota, too. But this is incredible. They don't even touch him.
a great game on it.
And this is the moment I walked out of the room here. Just seeing the speed they're doing that with the moment, and the pressure of the moment. That's amazing. This is one of the best footage.
You know what I thought about that? Like, that was the moment where it was all St. Louis. They tied the game. And we've seen Connor kind of take it to the next level in this playoffs, and we've seen some of the best players in the world when they take like Michael Jordan back in the day. This was the moment I thought McKinnon just took it to the next level. He's going to score the winning goals.
Here's Mario. By the way, don't let me forget to ask you, Kevin, about Lenny being a lefty. But here's this is Bob Cole at his, of course, iconic vest here describing.
That's a Hall of Fame that he doesn't say. Two Hall of Famers, Adam Oates.
So yeah, that night, as you say, he did it to Minnesota. So 2 years in a row, he did that. And Scott Niedermayer in a situation for the New Jersey Devils against Detroit scored that classic.
Don't go anywhere. We're going to be doing the overtime. I can't show you the game on YouTube, sir, because if I do that, I'm going to be demonetized. But I will call the game for you. I'm watching and calling the game and let you know. It's 4-4.
Right-hand shot is to the outside, and you're almost inviting him into the middle, and you can team check him. But because he's a lefty, playing his wrong side, kind of opens up. It's a great move. It's not taking anything away from the goal, but for defensemen, always try to get back in the strong side of the pen.
Two hands on the stick, too. Are you a proponent of one hand?
Well, not if I'm Nikushkin.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good point. Which goal? Oh, gosh, it's 20 years now. There's been so many big moments in that. But yeah, he got caught definitely reaching on, I think, the 4-4 goal. Yeah, do you have it? Okay, good, Matt. Because then we can figure out which goal it was. But it's kind of a recurring theme on a great defensive player. But
well, let me play devil's advocate on this one too. Sometimes when you're tired, right? This is, it's been a long series here, not really, but again, when you're caught out there, you tend to sort of reach, and he's a big guy that relies on that reach too. And he's not the fleetest of foot, doesn't have, has a little bit of heavy leg there, so you sort of get caught doing that at odd times.
You know that Stewie represents him, right, for his next game.
Well, he's still getting all the money next contract. I don't care what sense.
All right, I know that the Edmonton Oilers lead the Calgary Flames 3-1, and we have Game 5 tomorrow night, and that's going to be Hockey Central at 9 Eastern, 7 o'clock Alberta time, and then we'll have the game at 9:30 Eastern. Let's get a report from Gene Principe. Gene.
In the opening round of the playoffs, both Calgary and Edmonton faced elimination games. For the Flames, it was against the Dallas Stars in Game 7, which they won in overtime. For the Oilers, it was Game 6 and 7 in their opening round series versus the LA Kings. That experience is what Edmonton hopes will help them prepare for a Calgary team heading into Game 5 that will be desperate to save their season, as they currently trail the Battle of Alberta 3-1.
What it does is it allows us to understand the mindset required for success tomorrow. We're here to win a game. We're here to play our best game of the series. We have an understanding of the type of game the other team wants to play. But in the end, I think we've been pretty consistent in our messaging here is that we're taking care of ourselves.
Got to win a game. Plain and simple. Our backs are against the wall. In the corner up against the ropes. So it's, it's up to us to see what we're made of.
In the Game 7, so the elimination game last round, do you think that does have your team sort of more equipped for?
I think that was, I said this before the playoffs started, and it's not just experience, it's having a good experience. So this is a good experience.
Any team that's got their back against the wall, that's facing elimination games.
What's going on, guys? Again, I know I see the comment in there for anyone else that comes in here. I can't show you the game in terms of being demonetized or anything else like that. Again, I would never be able to get monetized anyway. I'm just doing this for the sake of doing this because it's already on the ColorCast side of things. But I can tell you one thing. If you do want to be able to find the game, there's different streams and ways to do that right now. But if you want to be able to talk about the game, hang out, leave comments and all that, I'm going to give you the play-by-play once the overtime starts. We're going to go all the way through it, then you can stick with me.
Against the Montreal Canadiens, before the Canadiens came back to win 3 in a row and eventually move on to the Stanley Cup final. Gene Principe, Sportsnet, Calgary.
We appreciate it, Gene, and Toronto fans seeing Nazem Kadri and Zach Hyman. There's lots of fun. By the way, the last guy to get 4 goals, including the winner in overtime, and it has happened with Jean-Gabriel Pajot, did it for Ottawa in 2017. So that's something for Nate Dogg to go after. Is that who you're picking? Kevin, you're
No, I'm not, because he already picked him. I'll pick Bo Byron, and I'm going to go with David Perron. And if this overtime goes the distance, I got a little treat for LA. Here's a Twinkie for you. I've never had one of these in my life.
Anthony, who you got?
Everyone gets a hat trick, so I'm going Robert Thomas for St. Louis, and I'm going Cale McCarr for the Colorado Avalanche.
I'm picking McKinnon. That's it. He's going to win.
You got to pick him.
That's all. This is his night.
Come on, you got to pick
This is McKinnon.
Looking at Canada, an unbiased broadcast, and there's a lot of Blues followers.
Okay, I'll take Justin Paul.
Good for you. And I'm going to go Ranton now because he's been state fit. He's due, and I will take Colton Pareko. Just going to leave it St. Louis Blues. What a game. What a playoffs. Hunter Ryan Singh and Louis DeBrusk are at Ball Arena, and Dan Murphy will probably have a treat to interviews for us coming up here post game. Let's get it to OT in depth. Hunter Ryan.
Thank you, Ron. And this series saw overtime in game one. Let's flash back to what happened there where Josh Manson was the hero.
Yeah, it was just a great stop flick by Josh Bennett. And this one here opens up the lane. Look at the Brownies. There's a Bennington at that time that carries it. The second overtime win for the Avalanche. This is the first time going to overtime for St. Louis.
By Subway. Try the new Great Canadian Club. Part of the Subway Eat Fresh, Live Fresh.
Thank you for the update, Nick, on the Boston Celtics there. It's a 3-2 series lead for boys in Beantown. They're going to be going to TD Garden and try to finish that one off. In this game right now, this is a potential series clincher here for the Colorado Avalanche, but things have been made interesting by the St. Louis Blues. They have scored 4 in the third period. Nathan McKinnon with one of the best goals you will ever see. It's going to be tough to call here. I think that St. Louis, I would say, as we're getting set for puck drop here, they're going to find a way here to try to at least get to game 6 if I'm a betting man, but thankfully I'm not because usually you're losing a lot. So faceoff is lost there by Ryan O'Reilly, just his second. He's 17 of 19 on the draw. As this goes back into the defensive zone, now across the red line, St. Louis trying to go right to left across the timeline, and Colorado will be going left to right. The play is going to be blown dead here. 19:43 left to go in the overtime. Again, we are going to have the 10-minute ice scrape, but as far as overtime and everything else, there is no commercial breaks or anything else like that. So just get settled in, and we'll see what happens. This was a St. Louis team in the third period that had to play with desperation. They were down 3-0. They forced overtime at 4-4. Say a shot from Byram gets stopped there by Billy Huso off the dump in. And now Colorado immediately trying to pressure here. The CBC crew was saying that Colorado looked a little bit timid as far as finishing off that third period and trying to close that out. Again, if you are a St. Louis fan in the sense of it, you knew that the team was going to have to press, but at the same time, being down 3-0 to the Avalanche seemed to be like a monumental hill to climb. But who knows? I had talked about it from the very beginning of opening, from the national anthem and all of that. It's just one of those situations where no matter where St. Louis is at, they have to just take this, as the old cliche is, one game at a time, find a way to get into St. Louis, because then you're just looking at it. We win our game at home and handle our business, and then finish it off in Game 7. It's going to be the same thing I'm going to have to say for Calgary and Edmonton tomorrow night. It's the same thing for Calgary. You win the one at home tomorrow, and then you figure it out after. And that's what St. Louis has to do right now. They got to win this one on the road and figure it out after. Quick shot there on net is stopped by Billy Huso with the glove hand. And Colorado is going to have an offensive zone draw here. 19:07 left to go in the overtime. Again, anyone in the YouTube section, because I've seen this comment a couple times already about showing you the game. Again, that's a complete demonetization for me. Not like I would ever be monetized anyway, but there's plenty of streams out there if you want to be able to follow the game along. But I will give you the play-by-play and complete game story and everything else as it goes, and the complete game story to follow when this is all done. Falk gets this one down. Gets pinned and stolen there by Arturi Lehkonen. Tried to play this one across to an open slot, and now it is a 3-on-3. This is a chance for St. Louis and Pareko to try to get in there deeper here. Tarasenko tried to apply this one loose. Robert Thomas now has it toward the left face-off dot here for the Blues. It's stuck in between 4 cerulean and maroon jerseys. And Thomas tried to find this one, and somehow it found the glove of Kemper, and he had to hold on and make a save. 18:39 left to go in the overtime. John out here with you from Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. It's the same place that the Denver Nuggets play. Joe Sakic is looking on here, the GM of the Colorado Avalanche. His team has a 3-1 series lead. They were no doubt pressured by the St. Louis Blues. Again, if they don't win, their season is over. But Colorado hasn't made a conference final since 2002. St. Louis, who won the Cup in 2019, trying to keep their season alive. It's a 2-on-2 the other way. Joining as a 3-on-2 for Cogliano and Helm. Helm gets this one first here for a wraparound attempt, and it gets stopped there by Husso, and it's played out toward the Avalanche logo. Chance here for Tropchenko. Tried to play this one in behind the goal cage of Kemper, and now turned over. Here comes the Colorado Avalanche now. This is O'Connor. Logan O'Connor will shoot this one wide, maybe by design, to get off the kick plate and get more help. Here's a chance for Valinger-Chuskin. He lost it there, and this goes back to Colorado defense with Kel McCarr. Kel McCarr across that red line will chip this one in there deeper for the Avs. Avs get punished on the left side of the faceoff dot, but it's kept in. McCarr waiting. That was Johnson there. Gives it to Nico Rondon, and he lets it go. It's loose in between players. And it bounces toward the right faceoff dot now, where it goes to the captain. Gave it to Landeskog. Landeskog needs some help. Nathan McKinnon couldn't pry it loose. And now this is Colton Parayko back to his defensive partner with the former Red Wing, Nick Leddy. Colton Parayko can settle some stuff down, and the St. Louis forwards can take a change. 17:10 left to go in the overtime. John out here with you from Denver, Colorado. Glad you could join me from this potential elimination game. Robert Thomas has two. He tried to play this in between skates. He got pinballed out in front and picked up by St. Louis. Then the high slot, trying to work this way around Buchnevich. Stopped there by Darcy Kemper. It's a 1-on-2. Here's a chance for spinning around Kel McCarr. Kel McCarr in the high slot. Drop pass, shoots it. Stopped there by Ville Husso toward the left faceoff dot. And picked up now by Pavel Buchnevich from the St. Louis Blues. Vlad Tarasenko will get this one down the ice where he can take his change as this finds Kale. Kale going to hit this hard off the inboards. Picked up now by Barbashev. Evan Barbashev now will get this one to Robert Thomas. Thomas trying to hold, leave it there for Nick Leddy. Nick Leddy keeps this across the blue line. It's not out yet. Parayko lets it go, scores! St. Louis wins the game 5-4. They come down from 3-0. They tie the game 4-4. And Colton Parayko forces a game 6. St. Louis lives on. They defeat the Colorado Avalanche 5-4 in overtime. Colton Parayko, the hero. And they head back to Enterprise on Friday night. What a game that was between St. Louis and Colorado as they force a game 6 through the Blue Notes. We're going to play this one on ESPN on Friday night. Come back then and we will enjoy that contest. I'm going to have the complete game story and final here for you between the St. Louis Blues and the Colorado Avalanche. But the Blues win this one. They steal it. It was 3-0. They got it tied. Nathan McKinnon made it 4-3 with an end-to-end. It was just spectacular when it was Tyler Bozak with the game winner into the screen. And that ends it. It is 5-4 for St. Louis, and we're going to be going to Game 6 on Friday. Have a good one, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Complete game story and play-by-play to follow. Peace.
This is the saver by Martuzzo. This pass to the blue line.